expected a lot of offense from, with people such as Nate Nussbaum, Isak Huerta being freshmen coming in, and then also Brody Knopfsinger, Chris Venderly, a senior in the middle, supposed to step up. Josh Stoltzfus not dressing for this evening's contest. He's going to be missed in terms of offensive prowess, but still a lot of offensive weapons for the Maple Leafs. And they, besides that Marion game, they haven't really been able to take advantage of those. And so, looking forward to tonight, I'm still waiting for that first game where we just see Goshen just take off, just erupt, goal after goal after goal. Do you think that could be tonight?
I think it could be. I've seen Aaron Patrick's strategy to keep some of his offensive spark plugs on the bench to start the game, maybe bring them in as fresh legs later. That certainly worked in the case of Isak Huerta in the past. He's really provided that spark for the Leafs, even if he hasn't managed to score. I think it very easily could be tonight. Losing Josh Stoltzfus, as you mentioned, of course, hurts our offensive prowess, but we'll see Calvin Mandunga in the starting lineup, scored 2 penalty goals against Marion on Saturday. We could see.
Yeah, speaking of, in terms of actual stats here for the Maple Leafs, as you mentioned, Calvin Mangunda had those 2 goals at Marion. Brody Knopfsinger also has 2 goals on the season as well. They are the leading scorers. Multiple people trying to catch up to them. Nate Nussbaum has 1, looking for more. He's had plenty of opportunities. I'm pretty sure he's hit both of the goals here. He's hit the crossbar multiple times and some posts, but hasn't been able to find the back of the net quite yet. And now looking at the Spring Arbor team that's traveling in here, they earned a win to start off their conference schedule here this year. They beat Huntington by a score of 3-0, and leading the way in that charge was going to be Morris Kamara. He netted 2 goals. Actually, the first goal of the game came in the 51st second of that game against Huntington. So definitely not afraid to get out and attack for the Spring Arbor team.
Absolutely. Spring Arbor plays a strong defense as well, giving up just over half a goal per game so far on the season. So if the Leafs do want to offensively explode tonight, they'll have to really be on top form, as Spring Arbor has been in fine shape all season long.
Yeah, Spring Arbor comes in with a record of 6-3-1, as we mentioned, 1-0 in the Crossroads League. Now, of those 10 games, 4 of them have been shutouts. 5 of them, they've only given up 1 goal. A very defensive-oriented team. And so it'll be interesting to see if the Maple Leafs are able to get through that. They have, as we've mentioned earlier, they have struggled scoring a little bit here this season. So it'll be interesting to see how strong the Spring Arbor team is against the Maple Leaf team that they have some quick players, but they're also not afraid to take shots from a little bit farther out. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Looking at this matchup, these teams both in the Crossroads League, so they play every year. Last year, Goshen traveled to Spring Arbor. How'd that game end up?
You know, I just got here at Goshen College, so I don't quite remember exactly how that game went out, but I know that 2010 was the last time Goshen managed to beat Spring Arbor.
That indeed, 2010, Goshen traveled up to Spring Arbor, Michigan, and earned a 2-1 victory from the Cougar Soccer Complex. Last time they won here at Goshen College took us back a year earlier, 2009. However, every year since then, Spring Arbor has come to Goshen and beaten Goshen. However, every time Goshen goes to Spring Arbor, they end up deadlocked tie after the full 90 minutes and the overtime 120 minutes. Last year it was 1-1 on a goal from then senior Joel Yoder, who has since graduated for the Maple Leafs. So coming off of a tie, Spring Arbor definitely was considered the much better team in that game. However, Goshen was able to come away with a point. And so it'll be interesting to see if they're looking for some revenge here tonight. Aaron Patrick was very proud of that tie. So we'll see what he has in store for the Cougars here this evening. We've got 5 minutes on that game, or on the warm-up clock, I guess it would be called, rolling down towards kickoff, set for 6 p.m. on the dot here this evening. As we've mentioned, head coach for the Maple Leafs this year, Aaron Patrick, in his 2nd season, 11-17-2 record overall. As for the Cougars coming in, head coach Nate Miller, he is in his 3rd year with the Cougars. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups for this evening's contest and much more as we get ready to play some soccer here from the Goshen College Soccer Complex. So keep it locked right here. 91.1 The Globe, your Goshen College Sports Authority.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Why would you listen to another morning show where all you hear is this? When you could be starting your morning off like this. Start your day off with a healthy dose of music with the Breakfast Blend here on 91.1 The Globe. We'll take you back to the good old days with our college radio cut, remind you that records are still cool with our Deep Groove vinyl feature, and vibe out to our Toast and Jam session. That's every weekday morning from 6 to 9 here on 91.1 The Globe.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Indiana is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you ready for something new and like up-tempo music? I'm Larry Roberts.
And I'm Jim Fisher. We're the Bluegrass guys here at the Globe and hosts of Down Home.
With over 50 years of folk and bluegrass experience, we still have a long, long way to go.
We're going to bring you the best in bluegrass, both contemporary and classic, from artists like Alison Krauss and Union Station.
You're the lucky one, so I've been told. As free as the wind blowing down the road. Loved by many, hated by none. I'd say you were lucky 'cause
Balsam Range.
everyone knew it was bound to happen one day. Another breakthrough with a twinkle of an eye. Scholars
And some newgrass from the steep canyon range.
Join us every Monday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. for Down Home on your station for culturally progressive music, 91.1 The Globe.
Between midnight and the dawn.
Welcome back. You're tuned to 91.1 The Globe, your home for Goshen College athletics. And this evening, Goshen College men's soccer. Then a little bit later at 8 p.m., volleyball as well. We are under 2 minutes left until kickoff here from the Goshen College soccer complex. Sun splashing the field as the players are now on their respective benches. Spring Arbor to our right, Goshen College to our left. And looking a little bit further around the league taking place this evening around the Crossroads League, this is the first contest of the night. Marion and Taylor. Marion travels to Taylor. That game set to kick off at 7 p.m. Actually, looks like Mount Vernon Nazarene traveled to Huntington. That game kicked off at 4 p.m. If we get a result on that contest, we will be sure to share it with you as well. Two other games taking place at 7 p.m. Grace travels to Fort Wayne to take on the St. Francis Cougars, and Bethel travels down to Indiana Wesleyan for that match against the Wildcats. Looking at the Crossroads League standings, Grace, Spring Arbor, and Marion all atop the league with 1 win, 0 losses, 0 ties. Bethel, Mount Vernon Nazarene, Taylor, St. Francis, all tied in their first contests, and then Huntington, Indiana Wesleyan, and Goshen all with a loss. We are now going to have the starting lineups for you. First, JD is going to give us the starting lineups for the visiting Cougars of Spring Arbor University.
That's right. Starting in goalkeeper tonight, number 0, Cody Piper. Number 6, a senior, Cody Getzinger, is the defender from Vicksburg, Michigan. Number 7, Jake Sterling is a sophomore defender. Number 8, Adam Hunt, a junior midfielder. Number 9, Jared Putt, senior forward from New Zealand. Number 10, Kevin Vadir, a midfielder, sophomore. Number 11, Stevenson Storm, a senior forward from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Number 15, Morris Kamara, the leading scorer for the Cougars, a freshman midfielder and forward. Number 16, Michael Cavaco, junior midfielder and defender. Number 18, Matthew Strangis, sophomore defender. And number 22, Christian Strangis, a senior defender.
As for your Goshen College Maple Leafs, making the start in goal this evening, number 1, the senior, it's Dean Knopfsinger getting the start. Then along the back line, number 2, Ethan Francois Revalier, Jaden Chupp. Also have David Bontrager and James Garcia all making that start along that back line. Moving through the midfield, Jamie Reed, sporting number 6 here this evening. Alongside him, Chris Venderly, wearing number 7. Calvin Mangunda also making his start here this evening, number 8. First home start for the junior transfer. Then, looking up top, Jesus Dominguez Olvera, Spencer Asherman, and Brody Knopfsinger, all rounding out the starting lineup for your Goshen College Maple Leafs. Looking out at the teams as they're now lined up on the field for the official starting lineups here at the complex. Spring Arbor, white socks, white shorts, and then some interesting tops. They are wearing, seems to be long sleeves. Starts white at the top and then kind of fades to their dark navy blue jersey, that or color that is their school's color. Yellow lettering and numbers on the front and back of the shirts. And as for the keeper, he's wearing a faded jersey as well. This time it starts red at the top, fades to yellow along the midriff, and then red shorts, red socks for him. As for the Maple Leafs, they've got their purple socks, purple shorts, and checkered jerseys. I really love those things. They are beautiful looking. Purple and gray checkered, then white white numberings on the front and back. Goshen written across the shoulder blades on the back there. In goal, as we mentioned, Dean Knopfsinger. He's wearing his forest green jerseys tonight with a white stripe down his left side. The officials, all three of them, are black shorts, black socks, and a Kelly green jersey here this evening. So as we look, we are now about a minute or two finishing the starting lineups away from kickoff. What are you expecting to see from the first 5 minutes here from the Goshen squad?
Well, I think Goshen will start off relatively tame. If it is Aaron Patrick's idea to bring starters off the bench to get that plug early on, then they'll want to maybe grind it out with the starters from Spring Arbor early, maybe get some tired legs, then take advantage of Isak Huerta and Nate Nussbaum coming off the bench. You never know, though. Goshen could try to pull a few early punches. It could very easily go the other way as well.
It could. As you mentioned, both Nate Nussbaum and Isak Huerta on the bench here this evening. So it'll be interesting to see how long Coach Patrick keeps them on in terms of substitution rules. Once a player comes off in the first half, they cannot return until the second half. And so they want to keep the guys who are starting on the field as long as they can, while still getting their offensive attack going as well. Starting lineups are done here, and now the teams are fist bumping and getting to their respective sides. Looks like Goshen is going to be on the south end of the field, heading north. That's right to left on your radio dial or computer screen. As for Spring Arbor, then that means north to south, left to right here for the first half. Looking at these two teams, Spring Arbor seems to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that quick look at the players. Size isn't everything. It's obviously an advantage in just about any sport you play, but certainly plenty of speed and agility could be at Goshen's corner for all we know.
Looking in terms of wind conditions for this evening's contest, not much. We feel a slight breeze coming from out of the north heading south. However, it doesn't look like it's going to be too much of an issue. We'll see how that plays out as well. Once again, kicking off at 6 p.m. so that we can get coverage of the volleyball game that first serve set for 8 p.m. in a Gunn Gymnasium. Spencer Buttermore and Laura Hoover will have that call for you. Looks like it's going to be Spring Arbor's kickoff here this evening. That means Goshen will get the ball in the second half. Goshen playing seems to be a 4-4. Well, right now it looks like a
they're a little too
5-4-1.
Right,
I don't know. They're all kind of hanging out in the middle of the field. Maybe they're just playing a 0-10-0 or something. I don't know.
Funny, you know?
Looks like it's probably going to be a 5-4-1 with Chup playing more of the sweeper position for the Maple Leafs than Mangunda on his left, Ashelman all the way out in the left wing, Bontrager on the right center, and Francois Revalier on the right side. We're underway here. Ball drops back with Spring Arbor in the middle with it. That is Veter. Swings it over, then gets it right back, then drops it back. Back line of the Cougars here, keeping possession here to kick off this game. Ball comes up the line looking for that is Sterling. He drops it right back to the back line. Goshen College really laying off here. They're not putting much high pressure. They're just kind of giving Spring Arbor that possession now. Ball played up to that far left corner. Making a run is Kamara. However, Chup's going to be there to knock that one down. Ball ends up back at the foot of Bontrager, and he swings it forward. He's looking for Nossinger. That's going to be poked away out towards that far side, and they're going to let it roll out of bounds. Throw in for the Maple Leafs.
Aggressive early on by Spring Arbor, looking for Kamara deep there, but good defense by the Leafs.
Ball thrown back into play by Francois Revalier. Going up for that header, that is Storm. Ball bounces down to the middle. Now Jamie Reed battling for it. Kamara there as well. Ball pops up, and now Garcia is going to play it out towards the near sideline looking for Ashelman. He brings it down and touches around one, and then plays it back middle. Vennerly has it now coming across half field. He tries bringing it this way. However, that's going to be deflected by Kakavo. And now settles down towards the right side to Hunt. Hunt tries to chip this one up the near sideline looking for putt. However, that's going to go out of bounds. Not enough on it. Throw in for the Maple Leafs now as we are a minute and a half into the game. Ashelman to throw this one back into play, looking for Jesus Dominguez Alvera. Finds him over. Putt is right on his back. Nofsinger's going to end up with it. Gets it forward to Jesus Dominguez Alvera. He finds over to Venderly. Drops it off to Garcia. Poked away from him. This time it's going to be Hunt. He looks forward for Kamara. However, Chup's going to almost be there. It's going to dribble all the way back to Knopfsinger in the goal box.
Dangerous turnover in the midfield, nearly turned into a transition opportunity for Spring Arbor, but the pass a little too far ahead of Kamara.
Knopfsinger puts the ball down on the ground. He's going to give this one a ride over half field, looking for Venderly. Ball still up in the air. Knopfsinger going for it. Ends up with the foot of Venderly, gets it over to Knopfsinger, and then cleared away by Kakavo. Battle in the middle now. Ball drops back. Ball comes up to the near sideline now. Looking with it now. That's going to be Getzinger. Loses possession. Jesus Dominguez Olvera tries to take line. Poked away. Throw in for the Maple Leafs.
Great interception by Dominguez Olvera there on the near sideline.
Ashelman to inbound. Looking for Knopfsinger down in the corner. Able to get to it. Tries to cut back. However, standing in his way is Getzinger. It's going to roll out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. Ball thrown in. Ashelman deflects it right back towards that corner. Finds Jesus Dominguez Olvera. Olvera turns, tries to take the line. They're going to say it just dribbled out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. Almost kept it in there.
Yeah, smooth moves from Dominguez Olvera, but just couldn't quite keep it in. The Leafs showing a little bit more offensive life than we saw in the first minute and a half, so good signs.
Ball thrown back into the middle. Once again, Olvera is there, then deflects it on to Garcia, looking for Knopfsinger. Hits it down, however, Kakavo on his back, plays it forward to the far corner. Francois Valliere in pursuit, drops it all the way back to Knopfsinger. And he's going to just clear it away. This time happens to come to the foot of Venderly. He gets over to Francois Valliere. Valliere takes a touch towards the middle, gets around one, keeps the ball on his foot now towards midfield, eventually drops it off for Venderly. Venderly's going to swing this one towards the middle. That's going to be taken down by Strangis, and then passed over to Sterling.
I'd like to see the Leafs dribble the ball up a little bit more there. They kind of went for a deep shot to Dominguez Olvera, who is all alone in a sea of white.
Ball back along that back line of the Cougars. Strangis, to be specific. Now the ball in the middle with Veeder. Possession through the midfield. Ends up at the foot of Kamara. He flicks it forward, however, deflected away and cleared by Francois Valliere. Working on that far sideline now are the Cougars, trying to cut into the middle. Poked away by Francois. They're going to say too much contact there. It's going to be a free kick just outside the outer corner of the box there for the Cougars.
No protest from Ethan Francois Valliere, but you can tell he's not too pleased that he couldn't get away with that.
Storm standing over the ball. Stevenson Storm, the senior leader for the Cougars, also on the ball. Looks to be Hunt as well as Strangis.
Spring Arbor not loading very many men in the box. We'll see what they have cooked up for this free kick.
Only 4 in the box, however. They do have one running towards that far corner flag for a short corner type of play. Standing over the ball now, it looks like it's going to be Hunt to take. Drives one in low, and that's going to be cleared away by Chup. Ball settles down to Strangis. And now back towards the middle. Ball bouncing back and forth around that midfield area now. Finally settled down and cleared way out by Francois Valliere. All the way back to Strangis to settle it down for the Cougars. Passes it over to his brother. Older brother Christian. Strangis with it now. He tries to look forward for Kamara. However, that's going to be picked off by Bontrager. Bontrager to Venderly. He flicks it up, going for it now. 3 players let it bounce right in between them, and then gets popped right back up into the other time. Garcia is going to get a head on it, and it's going to fall to the foot of, looks like it's going to be Reed coming forward with the attack for the Maple Leafs. He slots one through for Knopfsinger. He's going to let it roll all the way to the edge of the box and then try to flick it through with his right foot. However, not enough power on that. Piper comes up to scoop it out.
Yeah, that was an ambitious attempt. I see what he saw on the very other side of the box was coming Chris Venderly, but that would have been a heck of a pass if he could have connected it. That's still a good idea.
Working
deep downfield. Yeah.
Working the other way now. Kamara making a run to that corner, headed down by Chup. And then cleared up the line. He finds Venderly, who settles it down and drops it off for Valliere. His pass up the line, deflected out of bounds, throwing for the Maple Leafs.
It's just there's a pure example of hustle winning you the ball there, and he managed to get a foot in, deflected off his opponent. Yeah. free throw in for the Leafs.
Francois Revalier to inbound. Looking up for Knopfsinger. He flicks it forward off the head. It's going to be settled down by Kakovo. He looks forward and finds the foot of Putt. He brings it out towards the near sideline. This time he's got Getzinger. Getzinger takes a touch towards the middle, then plays it back out towards this far flag. Chasing it down is Putt. Ashelman there in defense. Tries to play it to the middle. Mangunda's going to be able to intercept that one and clear it out. Looks up for Knopfsinger. However, on his back right away is Strangis, and he wins it forward. Kamara with it now. Working through that Maple Leaf defense. Poked away, and Knopfsinger's going to have it. Played forward, looking for Reed. However, they're going to bring it back for a touch foul there. It's going to be Maple Leaf free kick on their defensive half.
I'd say the Leafs are doing pretty well generally defensively. Haven't really allowed a real opportunity for Spring Arbor yet, but I have seen a few too many times just kind of clearing the ball at the end of their plays. Would really love to see them develop plays a little bit more. It's, of course, always safe to just boot the ball down.
We've got 37 minutes left here in the first half. Once again, Goshen and Spring Arbor deadlocked 0-0 here in Goshen, in men's collegiate soccer. My name's Andrew Snyder alongside J.D. Hirschberger. Cougars with the throw-in. Inbounds it to that back line. Christian Strangis. He plays it across that back line to his younger brother, who's going to take a touch forward. Gets to the edge of that midfield circle and then dumps it off. This time he finds Veeder. Veeder looks forward for Storm, who brings it over towards the near corner. Looking for Putt. Might be a little bit too much power on that. There is indeed. Over the end line. Goal kick for the Maple Leafs. Knopfsinger to take the goal kick now. As we mentioned, Spring Arbor's defense, they've got 8 of their 11 on their own defensive half for this goal kick. And the ball's not even going to get to half field. Cat gets caught up in the wind and then keeps on the side, trying to flick it through for Kamara. However, it's going to be too hard, and Knopfsinger's going to scoop this one up, see if he can get this punt a little bit farther.
Jaden Chubb just managed to get a head in there, which allowed goalkeeper Dean Knopfsinger to pick it up with his hands off of that.
Knopfsinger puts the ball down and plays another punt, this time looking for Venderly. He flicks it forward, however, headed right back towards him, and eventually falls to the foot of Kakovo.
This defense extremely well organized by Spring Arbor is my is my first notice. They're constantly in the same spaces. I don't even have to look for numbers to see exactly who it is when they touch the ball, because I'm just so used already to one person being in that spot.
Yeah, it's nice from a broadcasting standpoint.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Maple Leaf throwing down in this near corner as we head towards 35 minutes left here in the first half. Ball thrown back in, headed right back into the area by Hunt. Look forward to Kamara. He looks to turn and head down towards that corner. Ashelman there in defense. Ashelman's going to get it and poke it out of bounds. Throwing pretty much as far into that corner as you can get for the Cougars.
That's about as best a job as Ashelman could have done defensively there, earning that throw-in when there's really nothing else he could do with it after he stole the ball.
Looks like we're going to have a long throw here from the corner.
Yeah, Spring Arbor is counting on this throw, reaching the box as if it were a corner kick.
I believe it's going to be Getzinger to take. Gets towards about the edge of the 6 before Knopfsinger's going to get ahead on that. Brody Knopfsinger there clears it out. Dominguez Olvera working to continue that clear. Settles it down. Tries to turn. Ashelman's going to finally get a foot on this one to clear it away. Finds the foot of Reed coming up this near sideline across midfield. Plays it off. That's going to be Hunt, and it's going to be a throw-in now right in front of his own bench, in front of head coach Aaron Patrick. Much approval there.
Yes, that was very good by Jamie Reed. He had no numbers on that attack whatsoever, so he got it out of bounds, allowed the rest of his teammates to recover, and now Goshen's in a good position until they lost the ball.
Lose the ball. However, it's then poked right back away. Reed with a sliding tackle there to keep possession for the Maple Leafs. Ball ends up across the midfield line on that far side by Francois Revalier. He plays one forward. However, it's going to be headed away by Strangis.
Wow.
Falls to the foot. Looks like it's going to be Dominguez Olvera. He flicks it over one. Tries to get around a second one. Unable to do so. Ball falls to Getzinger coming up the near sideline now. He's going to turn and keep possession by dropping it back once again to that back line that is very organized. Then they play it forward. However, a mistouch there from Hunt. It's going to be Maple Leaf. Maple Leaf's going to be able to clear it up the near sideline and out of bounds. Putting the ball back into play are the Cougars now. Still a bunch of back and forth play here between these two teams. Hunt with it now, plays one towards the middle. Chupp's going to get ahead on that one and put it right back towards Hunt. Ashelman on his back, ball still up in the air. Finally cleared away. Looks like it's going to be Bontrager putting it out of play over the near sideline. They're going to say it ended up coming all the way towards the sideline versus over the end line for another Cougar throw-in. We are now 17 minutes into the contest. Still deadlock 0-0 between Goshen and Spring Arbor in men's soccer.
Yeah. That ball fell dangerously close right in front of Kamara inside the penalty box, but David Bontrager able to intercept it before Kamara could put a foot on it, which almost certainly would have been on goal.
Another long throw. This time, Kakovo is going to be able to get ahead on it. However, it's going to go wide near that, wide of that near post for another Maple Leaf goal kick.
Dean Nofziger's last goal kick didn't quite go to the midline. Hopefully, he can make Spring Arbor respect his leg a little bit more.
Couldn't quite go the distance, as the saying is, except for not in this situation. Nofziger, same thing, gets caught up in that wind and gets almost a half, but not quite. This time, Garcia is able to flick it on, and then Reed gets a little bit of a nudge in the back. It's going to be a free kick for the Maple Leafs. Mangunda to take this one, plays it up towards the near sideline, looking for Dominguez Olvera.
Ooh.
He tries to turn, however, he's going to be tripped up there by Getzinger. Free kick for the Maple Leafs.
Tripped up, to say the least. He was grabbed and taken to the ground with him.
Ball's in play. Dominguez Olvera trying to take that end line. Gets into the box. However, then poked away and kept in play. Beautiful play there from Christian Strangis. Brings it towards the near sideline and looks up the sideline now, looking for a run from Putt. Cleared away on the slide from Mangunda.
All of Goshen's attacks have so far come up the near side. We'd like for some to come up the far side too, because right-footed kickers are going to have a much easier time crossing into the box. You saw Dominguez Olvera had room for a left-footed cross into the box, but he wasn't quite confident. Tried to switch his feet around.
Ball back into play now by the Cougars on that throw and looking up the line for Putt. Ashelman on his back. Ashelman slides around. Ball stays in play. Beautiful teamwork there from Ashelman, and then Dominguez Olvera tracking back to win that possession and clear it out of their half. Ball now along that back line once again for the Cougars. Matthew with it now. Dumps it into the middle looking for Veeder. Veeder brings it this way and finds the foot of Putt. Putt back to Veeder. However, Garcia is going to get in the way of that one now, trying to track it all the way to the near sideline. Eventually poked away. And then Dominguez Olvera ends up with it, gets it over to Ashelman. He stands strong and moves forward now with the ball. Tries to slot one middle. Kakovo is going to step in front of Nofziger to win that one away. Coming forward now, he's looking, tries to dump it off for Kamara. Cleared away now. Putt working against Chupp. Chupp's going to step in front and keep possession of the ball now. Beautiful defense there from Chupp. He gets it up the line to Dominguez Olvera. He tries to turn with it. However, too many defenders there, two of them to be exact. And then Ashelman wins it right back. Tons of back and forth now. Nofziger with it now, trying to get across half. Plays it off of Strangis. It's going to be a Maple Leaf throw in front of their own bench.
Yeah, tough Maple Leaf defending so far. The majority of the possession has been in the field they don't want it to be in, but they haven't really allowed a single good opportunity for Spring Arbor so far. So have to commend the Leafs for that.
Just under 30 minutes left here in the first half. Goshen and Spring Arbor still deadlocked 0-0. Ball in the defensive half for the Cougars, but with it is Kakovo. He tries to clear it forward, looking for Kamara. Mangunda directly on his back, forcing him back. And now a double team comes. They're going to say a little bit too much physical play there. It's going to be a free kick for the Cougars.
No, I thought that was textbook defensive pressure that Brody Nofziger and Kelvin Mangunda were putting on him, but I guess the ref thought there was just a little bit too much tussling.
Ball put back into play once again to that back line of the Cougars. Crossing midfield is Christian Strangis. He looks forward, trying to find Kamara. Chupp right on his back. Kamara tries to turn, and Chupp gets there. Keeps possession, gets it up to Venderly. He's got one player forward of him, and that's Nofziger. However, nothing more than that. Touches it forward to him, and then poked away by Strangis. Kakovo coming forward now. Gets by two, tries to slot one through for Kamara. Bontrager there in defense. And he's going to be forced to drop it back to Storm. Stevenson Storm's going to whip one into the box, looking for Kakovo. It's over his head and into the waiting arms of Dean Nofziger. It's the ball now to Dominguez Olvera coming up the near sideline. He gets around Putt. Putt's not able to get back to it now. Getzinger coming over for help as well. He cuts towards the middle. He's going to lay one over to that far side for Francois Revalier. He takes a big touch, a little bit too big now, and cleared away by Sterling. Sterling continues up that line. Ball forced all the way back to David Bontrager before he clears it up. And ball gets settled down in the middle by Jamie Reed. Reed looks to flick one towards that far post. It's going to end up with Dominguez Olvera along the far sideline, or near sideline. Keeps it in play, puts it down towards that end line for Ashelman. Ashelman's going to one-time a left footer into the box looking for Venderly. He tries to chest it down and then turn and put one right back into the box. This time coming all the way over to Ashelman once again. His head in towards Nossinger, however, going to be cleared away by Strangis up to Mangunda. He takes a bad touch and ball falls to Kamara. A little bit of a foot race now. Bontrager, however, able to get in the slide. Beautiful slide tackle. Textbook slide tackle there from Bontrager to keep that fast break from happening. Ball's now in the near corner. With it is Putt. He's got Mangunda on his back. He chips one into the box. There were no attackers there. It's going to roll very gently right to Dean Nofsinger.
That you absolutely said it right. That was a textbook slide tackle by David Bontrager a minute ago. Really went for it all. He had a couple of defenders, but Kamara very easily could have slipped past them had Bontrager not collected that ball in the slide.
I've always loved watching David Bontrager slide. I don't know if you can tell that he's practiced, but he's done enough of them that he knows how to do it, and he is very good at it.
Yeah, timing is everything. Especially when you're going to leave your feet like that. You don't want to just go to the ground and then not get anything on the ball.
Crossing midfield now for the Cougars, a little bit slower pace now is Strangis. Dumps it off for Putt. Ashelman on his back. He drops it back to Christian Strangis. Strangis continues forward, then dumping it in once again to Putt, who drops it off for Getzinger. He plays it middle for Kakavo. He tries swinging towards that far corner looking for a Storm. His flick forward for Sterling is too hard. Maple Leaf throw in. Similar to the game last year between these two teams up in Michigan, both teams really coming out very strong defensively, not necessarily having a lot of offensive opportunities because they're so focused on not letting the other team have those offensive opportunities.
Sure, and I think that kind of plays into how I thought Goshen would start out with Isak Huerta and Nate Nussbaum staying on the bench to start this game. Maybe if they can establish a little more tussling back and forth, get some tired legs out there, then maybe Huerta and Nussbaum can find their opportunities.
Stevenson Storm working along that far sideline, trying to cut in along that baseline. He's going to be fouled up by Francois Revalier. Free kick for the Cougars, roughly 5 or 6 yards outside of the box on that far side. Two-man wall standing in front of the ball. Stevenson Storm, and I believe that is Veter there as well. Or possibly Sterling. Looks like Sterling's actually going to jog away. It's just going to be Storm on the ball. Nofsinger lining up his wall on that near post. 6 players in the box for the Cougars, 7 in defense for the Maple Leafs. Storm drives this one towards the near post. No, someone got something on it. Not sure I was able to see who. Ball settles down, and they're going to say high kick on Veter, then trying to keep the ball in play there for the Cougars. That means another free kick for the Maple Leafs.
Now borderline play, but he definitely raised his foot in a dangerous direction. Again, good defense by the Leafs there. Spring Arbor trying to throw us on a couple of different free kicks. Look with several different looks, but looks like the Leafs are still doing well. And here's Dean Nofsinger's kick.
We are over 20 minutes into action here, and we're still tied 0-0. Cougars and Maple Leafs going at it. Spring Arbor Cougars, that is. Kamara gets it along the edge of the box. He's going to have a rip. That falls right into the waiting arms of Dean Nofsinger. He's going to fall on that ball to earn himself some time. But that is our first shot of the contest for either team. It comes at the 23:57 mark.
Sorry, I cut you off there, but yeah, we did have a very defensive battle there to have our first shot on goal just now.
Ball's up with Dominguez Olvera. Still working with it in the middle. There in defense was Hunt. However, he finally gets it over to Garcia. He plays it forward for Venderly. That's going to be cleared away by Kakavo over that far sideline. Actually, not going to go all the way out. The wind keeps it in play, but Francois Revalier, the first to it, keeps with it, and it falls blocks down that clear towards the box. Not a shot on goal. However, still in the possession of Piper. Strange is coming forward now for the Cougars. He crosses midfield and plays it middle for Putt. Putt coming towards this near corner. Ball chip plays a little 1-2. However, they're going to let this one roll. Nofsinger's going to come out and get it right before it comes over that end line. Therefore, ball still in play as we are now under 23 minutes left here in the first half. Nofsinger's punt. This one gets over in midfield. Nofsinger and Kakavo there. Ends up falling to the foot of Dominguez Olvera off of their headers. He moves forward looking for it, however, ends up back and now over to the near sideline. Getzinger with it, looking to move forward. He's got one to the middle, and he gives it to Veeder. Moves forward. He's going to take a look. Thought about taking a long rip, however, then does a half pass, half shot, and ends up falling to Chupp. And he's going to clear it up over that far sideline across midfield. With it now is Sterling. He finds it towards the middle, looking for Hunt. Hunt's got Garcia in front of him in the goal, so he's going to bring it over towards the near sideline, looking for Getzinger. Getzinger plays it middle for Putt. Putt's going to have a left-footed hit from deep, and that falls to the waiting. Once again, Nofsinger diving towards his left to cover that near post. However, not much chance of any danger there.
No, it was a well-placed shot, but that far out, pretty much any goalkeeper should have had plenty of time to cover it up, as Nofsinger did.
Even you said you played keeper before?
That's true. That's definitely my most experienced position on the soccer field.
There you go. Ball is back in play now. I don't give too much of physicality there from James Garcia, one of the smallest players on this Goshen roster, and yet still packs a hard punch there. Not a literal punch, but not able to get physical there, and it's going to be a Cougar ball now.
Speaking of good things coming in small packages, Isa Huerta about to check into the game for the Leafs here.
Ball bouncing around the middle. Veeder settles it down, working with Storm along that far sideline. He turns back now and gives it off to Sterling, who brings it all the way back to the Strangis brothers. Matthew swings it over to Christian. Christian brings it across midfield. Trying to chip it over towards the near corner. That's going to be too hard for Kamara, not able to catch up. And that means we have a goal kick and our first substitution of the game. Checking in for the Maple Leafs, as JD mentioned, Isak Huerta coming in for Brody Nofsinger, coming in at the 20:34 mark left here in the first half.
And anyone who's listened to our broadcast long enough knows what Isak Huerta brings to our team. He is fired up on the field, a diminutive player, but he absolutely fights and scrapes for the ball. It's just a real joy to watch Huerta on the field.
Nofsinger's goal kick comes towards the near sideline this time. Gets over Ashelman, however, headed forward by Putt. And he plays it right back to Putt coming down the line. It's going to be too hard out of play for the Maple Leaf throw-in. Ashelman with it, tosses it forward. However, headed right back in by Getzinger. Settles down to the foot of Hunt. He tries to get around Dominguez Olvera, however, that's taken away. Reed with it now coming up the near sideline. That's to our left. Isak Huerta trying to settle it down. Can't get a good touch on it, and it dribbles out of play. Once again, Goshen College taking on Spring Arbor. Score is 0-0. Just under 20 minutes left here in the first half. Goshen traveling right to left. Spring Arbor left to right. It's a Spring Arbor throw-in down on the near sideline on the left. Gets it forward, looking for Putt. He's got two defenders on him. Ashelman's going to come away with the ball. Gets around another one. Takes a touch in middle and drops it off for Garcia. Garcia's going to try to chip one through. However, it's going to fall all the way back to an awaiting Piper. Piper outlets to Sterling along that far sideline. He gets across midfield.
It wasn't a bad attempt earlier by Jesus Garcia trying to get it inside, but Isak Huerta just dwarfed a little bit by the defenders also covering that spot.
Moving forward now is Kakavo. He's going to swing one into the box. That's going to be over the head of the awaiting Hunt. That means cleared away by Francois Revalier, settled down by Sterling. Sterling drops it back to his center defenders. And moving forward now is Matthew Strangis. And he's got nothing forward, so he brings it parallel towards the near sideline to Getzinger. Getzinger's going to whip one with that left foot towards the center, looking for Veeder. He settles it down, and brings it all the way back to the back line. Back line for Spring Arbor standing right about on that midfield line. A lot of back and forth play in towards the offense and then right back, trying to move this Maple Leaf defense. Ball in the middle now. Storm flicks one forward for Kamara. He's going to take a volley right at Knopfsinger. Knopfsinger was able to come out and get right in front of him. No chance at goal there and blocked down. Comes over towards the near sideline, out of play for a Cougar throw-in.
Yeah, Kamara managed to collect it right where that PK spot normally is, but Dean Knopfsinger with the immediate block. So not really a shot registered there, as Knopfsinger was all over that play.
Checking in now for the Cougars, number 9, Janum Saylor. Coming out number 12, or not number 12, excuse me, number 9, Putnam. Or putt, just putt. Ball back in play now. Storm working with it towards that middle. He's going to take a rip with the left foot, deflected away by Chupp. Another shot. This one's going to dribble wide of the near post for us, far post for the shot. A goal kick for the Maple Leafs now. 17 minutes left here in the first half.
Spring Arbor starting to rip a few more opportunities towards goal, but Dean Knopfsinger has handled everything. They've shot at him thus far, but I would definitely like to see the Leafs respond with a few shots of their own.
As for Spring Arbor Cougars, Stevenson Storm has moved towards the near sideline, playing forward on the right side now, as the sub Sailor now playing over on that left side. Ball played forward now. Garcia settles it down at midfield for Ashelman. He's going to play it over towards that far line, looking for Venderly moving forward. Sterling is there in defense and flicks it forward. Looking for Sailor now. Francois Ravalier on his back. Some fancy footwork there, however, not able to keep it in play. Throwing for the Maple Leafs. Inbounded immediately to Venderly, who's played into the box. Falls to the foot of Reed. He flicks it forward, looking for Dominguez Olvera. He keeps it in play. They're going to say he was offsides. Play is continued there. The center official sees it. Offsides on Dominguez Olvera. Free kick for the Cougars.
I believe that's our first offsides call of the entire game as well.
Not many shots, not many. We haven't had a corner yet. That's something of note.
Yeah.
And still, now our first offsides.
It's been a tightly contested game in the midfield. I'm not complaining.
Oh, no, I've enjoyed the game thus far.
Yeah, absolutely.
We hope you have as well. Moving forward now is Christian Stranges. Finds Kamara's foot. He swings it over towards that far sideline, looking for Sailor. It's too hard over his head. Throw in for the Maple Leafs. Francois Ravalier to take. Looks up the line for checking two is Huerta. However, that head of Kakavo gets in the way. And now ball's up in the middle. Garcia's going to be able to settle it down. However, Kamara steps in front. Moving towards the middle, gets around one, gets around two. Lays it off for Veter. He's going to try to cut back to his left. This time, Reed's able to poke the ball free, coming towards midfield now on the near sideline. Looks forward for Huerta. His pass is settled down there by Getzinger for the Cougars.
Yeah, the pass to Huerta a little bounced up into his the side, into his pelvis a little awkwardly. Anybody who's played soccer knows it's really hard to settle the ball when it bounces off of your pelvic bone like that. But throw in for the Leafs on the far side.
Looks like it's going to be Francois Ravalier to take. He's got Garcia in the middle, Huerta and Venderly up the line. He's going to go up the line, looking for Venderly, gets over everyone's head and falls to the foot of Christian Stranges. His play to the middle. Dominguez Olvera there in pursuit. However, Cougars able to keep possession and put it right back to the back line. Matthew Stranges moving forward with it now. Crosses midfield before any pressure from the Maple Leafs. Ball swings out to the near side to Getzinger. Puts it on his dominant left foot, and he cuts it back now. He's got Stevenson going towards the near corner, plays it to him. Ashwin there in defense, and Ashwin pokes it free, coming up the near sideline now. Plays it up 9. That pass not hard enough up for Huerta, picked off by Kakavo. He continues forward. Huerta working there in defense, and Mangunda's going to finally just clear this one over the sideline. Throw in for the Cougars. 14 minutes left here in the first half. Still tied 0-0. Goshen College and Spring Arbor in the second Crossroads League game of the season. Ball thrown in to Kamara. He's going to take a shot. It's going to take a deflection and go out of bounds near post. Corner kick. First corner of the game, and this time goes towards Spring Arbor.
Appears to be Jake Sterling. He's going to take this corner.
Two lefties, the outside backs for the Spring Arbor team, both seem to be preferring their left foot, Sterling and then Getzinger. So this perfect swing, left-footed swing, However, they're going to play it short for Storm. He drops it right back off then for Sterling. This time he whips one into the box, looking far post for Cavaco. Nofsinger's going to go up and get that head. And since he can use his hands, he can get up higher.
Absolutely.
And is able to grab that one.
That's why goals aren't scored very often in soccer. The goalkeeper is able to take command in the box there, as Dean Nofsinger definitely did there. Did manage to hit the head of Kakavo, though, so that was a dangerous corner, but worked out for the Leafs.
Ball down now towards this near corner. It's Huerta working with it. He's got Sterling in his way. Takes a touch towards the middle and lays it off for Dominguez Olvera. He's going to have a rip. Ooh. That one sails high over the crossbar. No chance for Piper, however, no chance for a goal either. No. Goal kick for the Cougars.
I definitely like when players feel confident enough in their feet to take shots from that far out. We definitely want to see the Leafs get more higher percentage shots, of course. But Dominguez Olvera decided he would test his foot and test Piper for what he hoped would be the first time tonight.
You only need one.
Absolutely.
Ball in the midfield now. Kamara tracking back to get it. Placed off for Saylor, who plays it out, trying to find the foot of, I believe that was Sterling, however, too far in front. Ball thrown right back into play by Francois Valliere, looking for Venderly. Gets it right back to him, coming across midfield on that far sideline. He's got Huerta to his inside. Dominguez Olvera at the middle of the field. Tries to cut it back, then immediately turns again. Back and forth, turning backwards and forwards, then eventually drops it off for Venderly. He's going to whip one into the box on the ground. Kakabo able to get something on that, and then eventually cleared away by Sterling. Ooh. Kamara working with it now. Slots one through, looking for Mangunda and Stevenson. Stevenson's get there. However, now 5 defenders and a goalkeeper in the way. His shot's going to be deflected down, and then his second attempt goes over the crossbar. A goal kick for the Maple Leafs. That is some beautiful defense from the Maple Leafs. Nofsinger able to come out and stop the original shot.
Yeah.
And then 2 players tracking back into the goal mouth, and then 3 more coming back as help as well.
Well, that's where playing goalkeeper optimally becomes really difficult and relatively risky. He really had to leave home to pressure Stevenson Storm to take a worse angle. But by the time Storm got over to where the ball had been deflected to, Nofsinger had returned to his spot, and like 3 more defenders rushed in to help him. So obviously a goalkeeper is very reliant that his defenders know to come back, to hustle, to help him out, because he needs to pressure the initial attacker right at the point of attack.
Yeah, definitely 2 defensive-minded teams we've seen here this in the first half at least. Maple Leafs with it now. Dominguez Olvera touches it middle towards Reed. Continues up this near sideline. Slots at corner for Huerta. Huerta with a step-over move and takes the end line. Whips one into the box towards the penalty spot. Settled down and cleared away by Strangis. Chup's going to get that clear now. He's got Kamara working on his back. He pokes it through. However, Kakavo is there waiting for it. He's going to come towards midfield on the near sideline. Gets across Huerta tracking back. Plays one middle looking for Veter. However, Manguna's going to get in the way of that touch. And ball settles to the foot of Garcia. He splits his 2 teammates on the pass and then chip forward now for Kamara. They're going to say he was offsides. Free kick for the Maple Leafs as we hit the 10-minute mark left here in the first half.
We just saw one of the better attacks by Goshen just a minute ago. The troubling part about it is when it came time to actually turn the ball inside the middle, just 1 Maple Leaf was there to receive Huerta's pass, and about 3 were all on the near side around Huerta. Those numbers could be reversed. That would, of course, be a little likelier to have a goal.
Nofsinger to put it back into play. Finds the foot of Olvera on the near sideline. He touches it down the line for Huerta. Working a little 1-2 now, both of them there. Huerta's going to go all the way towards the end line and slot one through for Dominguez Olvera. He tries to turn, gets a foot on it, however, not hard enough. Piper's going to come out and scoop that one up. However, that is the Maple Leafs' first shot on goal.
It was a pretty impressive shot that Jesus Olvera, Dominguez Olvera, I should say, excuse me, was able to get a foot on that at all. It was a good pass from Isaac Huerta, but he had to go to the ground and kind of twirl his way there just to get anything on it.
Ball's along that back line for the Cougars. Interesting. So the student section always asks the subs to dance before they go in.
That's right.
And I'm not sure that I've ever seen an opposing player, at least on the men's side, ever actually dance. However, we do have a Spring Arbor sub who just danced. So
First time for everything.
Dreams can come true in terms of a student section. Working down this near sideline now. Maple Leafs with it. Ashelman cuts it back and tries to play it forward for Huerta. Still, ball staying in the middle third of this field a lot here towards the end of the first half. So we're at the 8:20 mark. Over to the far sideline now. It's Venderly with it, and he touches it back towards the middle, looking for Reed. Reed then takes it back over to the far sideline, but then drops it off for Bontrager right at midfield. Takes a touch forward and plays one forward. Looking for it is Huerta. Gets over his head and falls to Getzinger. He's going to one-time play it forward, looking for a Storm. Ashelman there. However, his touch a little bit off, and Storm ends up with possession. Kakavo with it now, working against Dominguez Oliveira. Ball bouncing up and down in the air. And then poked away from behind by Isaac Huerta. Coming down the other way is Dominguez Oliveira. He's got Huerta making a cut down the line. It gets towards the middle. He's going to have a rip. That's going to be blocked down this time by Christian Strangis. Come the other way now, Sterling. 8 defenders back for the Maple Leafs, however. Sterling tries to come towards the middle, however, he's surrounded, tries to take it up line, and Revalier is able to be there for the clear. Gets it up to Dominguez Oliveira. He tries to turn with it, however. Kakavo there in defense for the Cougars. Brings it over towards the near sideline, looking for, I believe it is Viter. That touch falls to the foot of Kamara, poked away by Mangunda. Ball, that pass hits the ref in the middle. That's unfortunate, stays in possession. Hunt working with it now, tries to get it up to Kamara. And it looks like it's going to be Garcia to clear it forward. Clears it forward now. Getzinger playing defense, they're just kind of shielding the ball before it can go out of play. They're going to call a foul on Huerta, trying to keep that ball in play. So the subs still don't have a chance to come in yet.
Yeah.
Under 7 minutes left here. Ball right back into play along that back line for the Cougars.
And you can see what I mean about Isaac Huerta bringing a little bit of fire to the game. He's definitely come through with a lot of hustle, maybe a little bit too much hustle on that last play, but Isaac Huerta definitely bringing some energy.
Ball down in that far corner now. Sterling with it against Venderly. Venderly's going to clear that one away. We've got plenty of subs. If you want to introduce them, that would be great.
Absolutely. For Spring Arbor, number 5, Anthony Hunkai is coming in. Number 21, Corey Schwarzentruber. And it looks like number 24, Timothy Johnson. Those are the subs coming in, and it looks like Kevin Veter, Stevenson Storm, and Adam Hunt are leaving the game for the Cougars. Meanwhile, Nate Nussbaum, the other substitution we told you to look out for, is coming in for the Leafs. Didn't quite catch who left the game, so we'll just have to kind of deduce our way into seeing who's no longer on the field. I think it's Jesus Dominguez Olvera.
Ball played in the box, high up in the air, and Knopfsinger's going to come out to get that one.
I can't confirm it is Dominguez Olvera who's left the game. Oh, nice move by Nussbaum, intercepting an interception, as it were. Nussbaum takes a shot.
Ooh, boy. That one's going to curve. Instead of left towards the goal, it's going to curve right towards that far sideline. However, Venderly able to chase it down, keep it in play. Francois Vallier to drive one into the box, and Piper's going to come out and grab that one.
First real action of Piper's day. And comes up with a clean interception. And across, it was a little too high in the box.
Strangis with it now. In the middle, looks up line, looking for newly checked in. That is Johnson. Johnson plays it over towards that far sideline. Working with it now. However, Venderly there in defense. Working with it now. That is Yunchai. Now back along to the Strangis brothers. Ball played towards that middle now. Kamara with it. Tries to come over to the near sideline. That's going to be deflected off the foot of Getzinger. However, they're going to say he was offsides anyway. Doesn't matter as we head towards the 4-minute mark left here in the first half.
And you can tell a lot of speed and size advantages for Spring Arbor, as you mentioned, but Goshen has done a really good job hanging tough with them. Proud of the Leafs' effort so far in keeping a 0-0 draw. And that ball deflected out of bounds. It looks like they're going to give the throw-in to the Leafs as Spencer Asherman will take it. Isaac Huerta and Nate Nussbaum both went for it and ended up pushing each other out of the way. So a turnover by the Leafs will bring it back to the back line of Spring Arbor.
Trying to work forward now along that far sideline is Sterling. Sterling touches middle looking for Yunchai. Looks like Bontrager and Chupp working together there in defense. Chupp's going to be able to be the one clearing it over midfield Piper thought about coming out to get that one, however, didn't get all the way back to him. It's going to take some help from the head of Strangis to get it all the way back. It doesn't even end up picking it up, even though he could have.
Yeah.
3 minutes left now as Spring Arbor looks to move forward across midfield. Working with it is Swarcendruber. Plays it over to Sterling. Sterling looks forward, looking for Yunchi. Yunchi tries to get around Francois Revalier, however, he steps in the way and then plays it out of play. Looks like it's going to be Sterling to throw this one back into play. Checking two is Johnson, however, ends up going to Yunchai. Yunchai's got Revalier and Venderly there in defense. Venderly's going to poke that one through his legs and out of play. 2.5 left, Cougar throw in.
Aaron Patrick from the sideline yelling, no corner, no corner, Jamie Reed. He did not want to surrender another one after Spring Arbor has thrown a couple of tricky corner kick setups already. Obviously, in general, you would much rather give up this throw-in than the free kick from the corner.
It's going to be Getzinger traveling all the way from the near outer back position all the way over there for the long throw-in. Gets it in once again towards the end of the box. Finds the head of Garcia, however, wrong team. Gets played right back out to him. Left foot going to swing one in. Takes a deflection off of Revalier. And the second corner kick of the half goes to the Cougars. We're under 2 minutes of play left now.
Once again, Spring Arbor mostly loading the box. All but one of them really clumped, all but two of them really clumped together, and one of them totally surrounded by Leafs right in front of the goal itself.
Ball played into the box and flicked over by Bontrager. Kakovo was there as well, however. Working with it now. They're going to say another corner kick now on the near sideline for the Cougars, as it looks like it was going to be Sailor trying to get around, once again, Revalier. Heading down towards 60 seconds left to play here in the first half. It's another corner kick swung into the box, working for it, and Nofsinger, it's too close to him, and he's going to scoop that one up now as we are officially under 60 minutes left in the first half.
Yep, excellent goalie instincts. If I can get it, I need to be the one to go and get it. If I can't, then I need to be protecting my goal.
Nofsinger sets it down and then plays it over to Venderly across midfield. Ball falls down to then Francois Revalier. There in defense was Yunchai, however, dribbled out of play. Maple Leaf throw in now as we head towards 30 seconds left. Francois Revalier goes up the line looking for Huerta. He settles it down and plays it off for Venderly. Drops it right back towards Reed. He's going to chip one into the box looking for Huerta. He gets a touch on it over the keeper. They're going to say it's a goal! It's a goal for the Maple Leafs. 14 seconds left in the first half, and Isak Huerta gets the first goal of the game for the Maple Leafs as he beat the defenders, tried to flick one over the keeper, then two defenders from the backside trying to keep it from going into the goal, collided and forced it into the goal.
That was an incredible goal by Huerta. He knew the goalkeeper was coming up to cover him to stop the ball. He assumed Huerta would try to collect it, and so the goalkeeper went to go do what you would normally do in that case. But Huerta saw that coming and just flicked it right over his head. That was such a beautiful touch by Huerta. I, as a goalkeeper, would never expect a scorer to go for that shot in that situation, but a beautiful, beautiful job by Isak Huerta to score one right in the 45th minute.
Spring Arbor trying to get something over. They're not going to have enough time as we're now at 1-0. It is halftime here from the Goshen College Soccer Complex. Boy, what an end to the first half we had there as Goshen College ends up with a 1-0 lead heading into halftime. Thank you to the goal from Isak Huerta, the freshman, chipping it up over the keeper, and then two defenders colliding, both trying to clear the ball off the goal line, and ended up putting it up into the roof of the goal. Oh boy.
Wow.
Whew.
What an end to a mostly defensive half. Isak Huerta puts it on entirely on his back. He had no help around him. Just flicks it right over the goalkeeper. Amazing work by the substitution at the very end of the first half. Amazing way to go into the locker room.
It's halftime. Goshen leads Spring Arbor 1-0. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what we saw there in the first half and recapping that goal that we just saw as well. And then we'll talk some about what we expect to see here from the second half now because of that goal, all here on 91.1 The Globe, your Goshen College Sports Authority.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Tune into the Globe every Thursday from 11 to midnight for the Artist Spotlight, a show dedicated to telling the real stories of the musicians that inspire us today. You can learn of their upbringings, their hobbies, as well as side stories of their travels as a musician, and much more. You also get to enjoy many of the artists' favorite tracks over their careers, and the artists come from far and wide. So join us as we engage in a wonderful conversation in the Artist Spotlight, right here on 91.1 The Globe.
When Dad needed help getting around, I became his driver. Soon enough, it was up to me to be his housekeeper and financial manager, too. When he moved in, I became his cook and even his nurse. But no matter what roles I play, I know I'm still his daughter.
We understand the roles you play. So to help, we created aarp.org/caregiving, where you can connect with experts and other caregivers. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Here on 91.1 The Globe is the only place that you can hear the newest releases from artists like Rhett Miller. Hear the newest singles from your favorite bands in the Americana scene like the Dislons.
I guess that I don't care
or Yonder Mountain String Band. That's only on your home for culturally progressive music, 91.1 The Globe.
Welcome back to the Goshen College Soccer Complex for this evening's Crossroads League battle between the Goshen College Maple Leafs and the Spring Arbor Cougars in terms of men's soccer. It's halftime. Early kickoff here this evening due to multiple athletic events here from the campus of Goshen College. And Goshen has a lead, 1-0.
Yes. If you would have told me it would have worked out like that for the first 44 minutes of this first half, I would not have believed you that we would have ended up like that. But Isaac Huerta coming out with an amazing individual effort. Very rare to see plays and manufactured so beautifully by oneself in soccer, but it certainly is a beautiful thing to see.
As JD mentioned, the goal coming in the 45th minute of the first half at the 44-46 mark, to be specific. A chip from Jamie Reed. We haven't really talked about. He did have the assist on that goal.
That's true.
Very
have to give credit where it's due.
So he chipped it forward for a run from Isaac Huerta into the box. He caught Kobe Piper coming out and chipped it up over him towards about the middle of the goal, and it looked like it was going to bounce into the goal. Two defenders there for the Cougars trying to clear it off of that line and ended up running into each other and unable to get it out of the goal, ended up putting it into the goal for the only goal of the contest. However, looking at what happened last year between these two teams, Goshen did have a lead at one point, and then the Cougars came back to tie it and ended up being a 1-1 tie. So we'll see how that plays out. As you mentioned, though, for the first 44 minutes of this game, really, weren't really many opportunities on goal for either team. Looking at stats, Spring Arbor only had 4 shots on goal. I believe only 5 shots total, whereas Goshen, hey, they're 1 for 2 in terms of shot on goal. I mean, one on goal, 1 in goal. We'll take that. And also looking at corner kicks, Maple Leafs yet to have their first corner kick of the game, but Spring Arbor has had 3 opportunities, as well as they have the threat of the long throw-in.
Absolutely. I was impressed by Goshen College defense on the 1 point, not really allowing a really good opportunity. Almost all of those shots on goal were out from outside the box. Nothing that really threatened Dean Nofziger. Every time something was threatening as far as a pass was concerned, he was all over it. Really impressed with Nofziger's work. On the other side, though, it has been clear, as you mentioned, the opportunities have been favoring Spring Arbor a little bit more often than Goshen College, but you're right. Sometimes you got to play the numbers and assume the team with more opportunities gets more goals. And sometimes you just got to convert on the small opportunities you have, and that's certainly how it's worked out so far in this first half.
That is the brilliance of soccer.
Absolutely.
Just because you are the best team or the better teams in terms of statistics doesn't mean you're necessarily winning or that you will win the game.
Lots to be said about individual performance, and of course, as we mentioned, Huerta and Nussbaum not starting in the beginning of this game, even though we kind of recognize them as being some of the better offensive players for this squad. Of course, a team full of plenty of offensive talent, but they definitely came on and provided that spark at the end. We saw a couple of steals from Nate Nussbaum in the attacking third, and of course, Isak Huerta scoring in the end there. But even before he scored, he was intercepting balls, he was pressuring defenders, doing what Isak Huerta does.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about things happening around the league, around Crossroads League men's soccer here this evening. Also touch on the women's side. A lot of games happening last night. So keep it locked right here. 91.1 The Globe, your Goshen College Sports Authority.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing, too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Why would someone with a successful career in New York City decide to move to Goshen, Indiana and stay? How is Goshen High School graduating nearly half its students with college credit? Why is there an international art gallery in downtown Goshen that rivals ones in much larger cities? Find out for yourself at goodofgoshen.com. Good of Goshen tells stories about people who reflect Goshen's generous character. See more at goodofgoshen.com.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Start your day off right with the Breakfast Blend, weekdays from 6 to 9 on 91.1 The Globe.
We'll bring you music that will get you moving, as well as the info you need to plan out your day.
We'll take you back to the days of all-nighters and term papers with the college radio cut.
Remind you how hip your turntable still is with our Deep Groove feature.
And see you off with our Toast and Jam session at the end of the show.
91.1 The Globe.
Culturally
progressive music.
Wildfires burn millions of acres across the country each year. And each year, wildland firefighters battle to contain them, but they can't do it alone. For some communities, it's not a question of if wildfires strike, but when. Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Welcome back to the Goshen College Soccer Complex for this evening's second half action between Goshen College and Spring Arbor. My name's Andrew Snyder alongside J.D. Hirschberger. We're through one half, and Goshen leads Spring Arbor by a score of 1-0 on a 45th minute goal from Isak Huerta, assisted by Jamie Reed. Looking elsewhere around the league, one game has completed. That is Mount Vernon Nazarene traveled to Huntington earlier this afternoon, a 4 p.m. kickoff there to allow for Mount Vernon, as they have quite a bit of travel. They're all the way over towards Columbus in Ohio. A 5-hour drive for Goshen College, however, 4 hours from Huntington, I believe. Nonetheless, that game ended with the visiting Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars winning by a score of 2-0. Other games taking place here this evening. Once again, Indiana Wesleyan hosting Bethel. Taylor University hosting Marian University, and St. Francis of Fort Wayne hosting Grace. All of those games set to kick off here within a few minutes, set for 7 p.m. We'll see if they actually do kick off at 7. Then looking, as we mentioned, a lot of the women's teams for the Crossroads League Women's Soccer taking place yesterday. Goshen traveled to Spring Arbor and dropped that contest by a score of 4-1. Grace topped St. Francis at home by a score of 3-0. Marian beat Taylor by 1-0. Indiana Wesleyan traveled to Bethel and won 2-1, and then Mount Vernon Nazarene beat Huntington 3-0. Once again, those scores were yesterday on the women's side of the soccer here in the Crossroads League. We're now under 5 minutes left until the second half kickoff here, JD. So what do you expect to see from this Maple Leaf team? They've got a lead now. Not necessarily something they're used to, which is sad to say, considering that they do have a 1-8 record, looking to improve that here. And so what do you expect to see? Coach Patrick does have the team gathered out on the field right now. What do you expect to see from the Maple Leaf team?
Well, I assume to see the same starting lineup that we had at the very beginning of the game. They were playing really solid defensively, especially at the beginning. They, of course, had fresher legs at that point. I'm sure that definitely contributed to playing stronger defense than they did towards the end. But they'll have fresher legs once again coming out the second half. I don't think Aaron Patrick tells them to do anything different. They were playing shutout ball, and maybe if they didn't have a goal now, he might have to make an adjustment because he definitely doesn't want to draw. You always want to win games, of course. But now that he does have to have a goal, I think he tells the Leafs, do what you were doing. Make sure you continue to put offensive pressure. You never want to park the bus this early in the game. You never want to just settle. But I don't think don't change a formula that's working out for you.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see because the Maple Leafs did come out playing a 4-5-1 formation, which is a very defensive-oriented strategy in terms of you've got 5 defenders and you've got 4 midfielders. That's 9 players in that defensive/middle third of the field, and that is very hard to beat. Even for teams such as Barcelona, in terms of the best in the world, to go through 9 players and a keeper and score is something that is very hard to do, let alone Spring Arbor. Yes, they are a very good team, and they have received some votes in terms of national prowess, but still, going through 10 players at a college level is something that is very hard to do. So we'll see if he keeps that, or I find it very hard to believe that he would then shift that one forward back, or that he would shift another forward player forward just to kind of open up some more space. I don't know. I feel like that was an interesting formation and that it worked out here. We'll see. We'll see if he keeps that now as we head now. 2.5 minutes left until kickoff. We're going to take a 2-minute break and get ready for that second half. We'll have starting lineups for the second half for you then as well. So keep it locked right here. 91.1 The Globe, your Goshen College Sports Authority.
Hey, Billy, want to go to the state fair?
Yeah!
Well, you can't.
Huh?
Well, you see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it. But now your parents are becoming energy efficient. They could save hundreds of dollars a year and take you to the fair next year.
I want to go now.
Oh, I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Tune in Sunday evenings from 4 to 6 for Acoustic Cafe here on 91.1 The Globe. Join your host Rob Reinhardt for a mix of music from classic singer-songwriters and new up-and-coming talents. It's an eclectic selection of different genres from the last 6 decades. For avid Globe fans, Acoustic Cafe is a show you don't want to miss out on. A relaxing show to wind down on a lazy Sunday afternoon from 4 to 6, only here on your home for culturally progressive music, 91.1 The Globe.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
574 Sports on 91.1 The Globe serves up a fresh dose of local and campus athletics every Saturday at 11 in the morning. Join myself, Dalton Scheller.
And me, Brad Stoltzfus, as we sit down with coaches to give you an inside ear to athletics.
Hey, join me too, Spencer Buttermore, as I talk with athletes to let you hear their thoughts.
Features, interviews, and more is here on 574 Sports every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on 91.1 The Globe.
Welcome back to the Goshen College Soccer Complex here on 91.1 The Globe. We're just about to get underway here for the second half between Goshen College and Spring Arbor. Goshen with a 1-0 lead here on their home turf. Not home turf, excuse me, home field. It is not turf, it is natural grass here for the Goshen College soccer field. And it's going to be Goshen ball heading from left to right on your radio dial or screen and Spring Arbor coming right to left. We confirmed that it is the same starting lineup for the Cougars here the second half as it was the first half. Not quite sure, can't really tell who's out on the field right now for the Maple Leafs. They're in their own little huddle, but it looks like it's probably the same group.
I'm willing to guess it is. I got to see the numbers a little bit while they were warming up for the second half, and I do believe it's the same. I just want to shout out once again Dean Nofziger for his excellent first half in goal. Looked really confident back there. Made some fine saves. Most of the shots against him were from pretty long range, so pretty basic stuff. But when passes came his way, he intercepted them. The best goalkeepers don't look like they're doing anything fantastic. They see everything developing around them, are able to confidently approach the ball when it happens, and make saves look really easy. And that's definitely what we saw from Dean Nofziger in that first half.
Dominguez Olvera and Nofziger standing over the ball, and we are underway for the second half. Ball dropped back to Chupp, and he brings it right back forward, looking for Fenderly. Tries to flick it forward for Nofziger, ends up falling to his own foot. Plays it forward for Dominguez Olvera, slips it forward for Nofziger. He's into the box. Tries to take the end line. It's poked away by Strangus. That's going to be a corner kick for the Maple Leafs. Didn't have a single one in the first half, and here, 20 seconds in, and they have one.
Well, as far as like organized offensive attacks, that was easily the most penetrative one that we've seen in this game. 20 seconds in, the whole first half, Goshen never gets three men into the box working around the ball, and they do right there. It earns them a corner. Takes a little bit of time. It was cleared fairly far away. But an energetic start for Goshen. I couldn't be happier about getting this opportunity. Goshen has loaded about 5 players in the box, but running up as well is Dominguez Olvera.
Fenderly plays this one into the box. No one there. Finally headed away by, I believe that was Getzinger. Then flicked forward. Playing with it is Hunt. Kavako trying to get in on that, and Nofzinger's going to settle it down. However, Kakovo still coming the other way. Keeps bouncing to his foot. Now he plays one towards the box, however. Too hard for Nofzinger to come out and scoop up.
Eventually we'll scoop it up. he kept it on his feet for a couple seconds there, but Nofzinger's punt is excellent. Wow. Covers most of the field with that.
When you have the wind at your back, you all of a sudden get a lot better at punting. It's this crazy thing. Working with it now, Nofzinger has it down. Gets it off to Reed, who drops it back to Mangunda, He looks forward for, that is Ashelman. However, trying to get through there, that's going to be, Getzinger. He's going to be tripped up. Now lays it off for the strangest.
I'll have to take the referee's word on that one. It kind of looked like he just lost his footing at midfield there, but ref had a better angle of that than I did up here in the press box.
Christian Strangus now crossing midfield, plays it forward for Kamara. He turns and lays it off for Veeder. Veeder comes up the near sideline for Sterling. Sterling cuts it back middle. He's going to try to throw it into the box. That's headed away by Reed. Right back towards his own bench. It's going to be out of play for a Cougar throw-in. Ball now back along the back line for the Cougars.
Goshen not pressuring the ball in midfield at all. They are really, really just packing it in defensively, counting on giving no good opportunities.
And not really playing that one forward, kind of having him drop back into the midfield. So really almost not to say parking the bus quite like Chelsea did in the Champions League final a few years ago, but pretty close.
Yeah, I'm surprised because normally you would want to make sure you're keeping a little bit of one player up offensively, because you don't want to just clear it away and give it back right away. You want to have somebody up to give some pressure to try to maintain possession. As it is, a goal kick comes from all of that, and the Leafs are a little more spread out now.
Ball settled down. Garcia with it. He plays it forward to that back line. Now Strangus with it. This time it's Matthew, plays it forward looking for Hunt. He keeps it down and then moves towards that far sideline. Now just approaching and across midfield, poked away by Garcia to Reed. He tries to keep possession amidst 3 Cougars. Not able to do so. Ball played forward, however, at this time it's Bontrager in the way. Gets over to Reed once again. They're going to say it hit his hand. looked to be incidental from my from our angle, but
he definitely was just trying to collect a bouncing ball, and it bounced off his foot to his hand. But those are such tough judgment calls, because you could argue there that Jamie Reed, even though he was incidental, touching his hand definitely helped him collect the ball. At any rate, it's going to be about a 35, 40 yard, not 35 yard.
That's at 35, yeah. 3 players standing over the ball. Hunt, Kakovo, and I cannot see the third. It's going to be Sterling over it now. Now they shift. Looks like Sterling right on the ball, and then Kakovo and now Storm coming back to the ball as well. 4-man wall, one hidden behind the wall as well, waiting to move forward. Ball chipped up.
Whoa.
Kakovo's going to have a volley. This one ends up right at Nofsinger. That's an interesting strategy on a free kick that
I've literally never seen that. The free kicker literally just popped it up so that an on-the-fly boot by Kakovo. They must have practiced that one very specifically. I'm sure Kakovo is a specialist of that. To try a free kick,
I would hope so.
In that kind of sense, it didn't trouble Dean Nofsinger from that far out, but wow, you see something new every day.
You know, it's strange when Dan Boddicker down here says that's something he hasn't really seen either. He is a veteran in terms of soccer. He's coached, played the whole 9 yards. He even has driven the bus now for the Maple Leafs in the past few years up until this season. A lot of thanks out to him. He has been very helpful in terms of moving Goshen athletics forward.
Yes, absolutely. Literally and figuratively.
Yes, both ways. Coming down the other way, it's the Cougars moving right to left. Along the back line, it's Strangis. Puts it forward, looking for Veter. Veter moves forward, looking for Putt. He's going to try to chip it forward, headed away by Reed. And then comes all the way back to the Strangis brothers. Still all 11 Maple Leafs on their defensive half, and none of them looking too keen to make any moves forward anytime soon. Strangis gets all the way towards that attacking third before anyone approaches him. Takes a rip, and that is sky high. All the way over the field, into the baseball field.
Onto the baseball field.
That's when you know you missed.
Yeah, you know it was a very ambitious look if you shot it over the baseball field, the reverse home run, as it were. But Strangis had no pressure. He came all the way from the back line to take like a 32-yard shot. This must be very intentional for Aaron Patrick, just telling his players, don't bother the defenders. If they want to come up, let them come up. I don't.
They're not known for attacking.
I don't believe they can score.
Nofsinger with it now for the Maple Leafs with possession in their offensive half. However, quickly turned over. Storm with it now. Plays it forward, and Chupp's going to get in the way of that one. Beautiful stretching out there to make sure that one didn't get through for a oncoming run from Kamara. However, worth it now is Hunt moving over towards that far sideline. Ashman there in defense. He's going to poke it free. It's going to go over the end line. It's going to be a corner kick for the Cougars, their first of the half.
A bit of a counterattack opportunity for the Cougars, but couple good deflections, defensive plays. The Leafs hold strong. And, of course, when you got a 1-goal lead, you just need to hold strong. Doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to not concede goals.
Sterling jogs over to that far corner to take the kick. A player on the keeper, and then 5 more making runs at the ball for the Cougars. Every single one of them guarded by a Maple Leaf. Ball swung in. Nofsinger's going to be able to get a punch on this one, knock it out of the box. Working with it now is Dominguez Olvera. He's all by himself. 5 players there to defend, and it gets poked all the way back to Piper on the back line for the Cougars.
Yeah, it really is just as well. Dominguez Olvera surrounded by 3 players with no help at all, and ball was cleared all the way to the back line for him. Might as well.
Once again, Goshen leads 1-0 here in the second half. 37 minutes and change remaining. We have a stoppage of play. Looks like there's going to be a contact. Maybe I think he lost a contact. He seems to be holding something in his hand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's definitely a contact. He's pointing to his eye.
Yeah.
To Goshen's trainer, who's asking him if everything was all right. Nate Nussbaum checking in the meantime for the Leafs, and so too for the Cougars is Anthony Junkai, once again. Nate Nussbaum checks in for James Garcia. Garcia not a customary starter, but coming in for the injured Josh Stoltzfus. And but Nate Nussbaum now can take some action. Of course, we are in the second half, which means substitutions are fully unlimited.
Not quite.
Oh, no.
You can be on the field 2 different times.
2 different times.
And so for most
okay.
players, you don't ever get to that because if you start on, you can come off, come back on, and come off again. And if you're a sub, it's just most players don't get that far.
That's a lot for the ref to keep track of.
Yeah, and well, usually it's the other coach, the other bench is keeping track of it. But nonetheless, ball is back in play with the Cougars now. The Strangis brothers working along that back line, right at the midfield line. Just keeping possession. All 11 Maple Leafs back in defense, forming 2 solid lines, one at the 18, one about 10 yards forward of that. Christian Strangis, who moves forward. Venderly now finally applying some pressure, and they're going to have to drop it right back. Still can't find a way through this Maple Leaf defense. They've got 36 minutes and 30 seconds to figure it out. Otherwise, they earn their first loss of the Crossroads League season.
Yeah, but when you see the Leafs dropping back in defense like that, that timer starts to be in everyone's head. Like, can they do this for 36 straight minutes?
Ball poked away by Ashelman to Venderly. Looks like they can for now.
Yeah.
Ball comes over to Nofsinger. He's got Nussbaum making a run towards the near corner. Hit ambitiously hard and Nussbaum not able to get there. You can tell he was waiting. He had made the initial run. Timing wasn't quite right, so he had to slow down. Couldn't quite get there, still waiting, and then eventually released. But it wasn't quite enough time there.
It looks like Spring Arbor was playing the offsides trap there as well. They knew Nussbaum could get ahead if they really let him, but they were holding the line pretty close to midfield.
Working now the other way, it's Kamara and Putt working together. Putt with it now. He drops it off for Veeder. Veeder plays one forward for Kamara, trying to get into the box. He's got Mangunda on his back. Tries to turn one into the box. Chupp's going to clear that away. Over that far sideline, this seems to be long throw area, and Getzinger is the one to take it. He's going to end up going short, looking for a putt. He turns, gets around Venderly, has to rip left-footed. That hits Ashelman getting in the way of that one. Falls to Getzinger. He's going to swing one into the box. Coming out for it is Kamara. His header is going to be wide of that far post. Nofsinger seemed to come out trying to get to that one, couldn't quite get there first, so luckily that one wasn't on goal. Otherwise, could have a tie game.
Kamara definitely beat Nofsinger to the ball there. And that is the risk when you play aggressively to go steal balls like that. You definitely want to when you feel like you have a chance. But yeah, as you said, luckily Kamara's header was a little bit off. Definitely the goalie being right on your back affects your accuracy, of course.
Nofsinger to put this one back into play. Looking towards that far sideline for Dominguez Olvera. However, it's going to be cleared forward. Ashelman battling for it.
Stolen back away in midfield. Oh, nice slide.
Going with it now is Jamie Reed. He gets it, played forward now, looking for Dominguez Olvera. However, drop back to the back line of the Cougars. They are still looking for their first goal of the contest as they are down 1-0 to your host Goshen College Maple Leafs on a goal from Isaac Huerta right at the end of the first half. And they've got under 35 minutes to do so here in the second half. Nofsinger working along that far sideline, gets around one, then pulls back to keep possession in the midfield. Places to Venderly. He's moving forward. He's got Kakevo on his right. Tries to lay it off for Francois Valliere. However, Kakevo is going to get there and turn with it. He plays one middle looking for Veeder. He's going to have enough space to turn and flick forward for the oncoming Yunchai. However, Nussbaum's going to poke this one away. Now he's got some room going forward. Gets around one. Or then a second comes in defenseless. Getzinger getting the way. He still is able to get through him. And then once the ball is through, Getzinger sticks with him. Rush trying to get Getzinger to come over and have a talk with him. That was definitely after the ball was away. Still a pretty hard foul. No more there. Next time that will be a card.
Yeah, but excellent work by Nate Nussbaum. And you can kind of see how an offense functions in a defense where so many people are committed back. If they do get it into the offensive third of the field, as that free kick is ricocheting off the wall.
Rockets one right off the wall, and that's going to be a corner for the Maple Leafs, as you were saying.
Yes, you can see that you want that one player to hold possession as much as he can to give time for the defenders to come up and help. Ethan Francois Revalier the other time managed to come up from his back defensive position to help on offense. You definitely still want to have organized offensive attacks, but you're just relying on that one guy who breaks through. Just hold on to it by himself. That's a tough task. But Nussbaum did a great job.
Venderly to take the corner kick. He drives one to the top of the box. Nussbaum trying to get there first, however, ends up on the foot of Putt. He can't get around Nussbaum, though. Ball dribbling around, and now Kakeval has it coming the other direction. He has some wheels on, still staying away from Reed. However, then his pass forward is going to hit the arm of Jaden Chupp. Incidental, but still is able enough to slow down the play. It's going to be a free kick for the Cougars, roughly 40 to 45 yards away.
Yeah, again, it looked like he was just his arm just happened to be in that place. But when a pass is intercepted in such a fashion, you pretty much have to call a handball.
Even if you had received a yellow there, still definitely something he would have wanted to consider, considering Kamara was running through, Veter was coming through, he had Hunt on his right. Definitely a good, not necessarily a choice he made, but a lucky break for the Maple Leafs. Standing over the ball now. Sterling's going to whip one in, finds the head of Ashelman, and he clears it away. Nofsinger now in pursuit against Sterling. Sterling gets there first and plays it up the line. Finds the foot of Getzinger. He's going to put it back on his left and throw it into the box. It's going to be too hard, and Bontrager's going to clear this one away. Ends up at the foot of Nofsinger. He's got Venderly on his left, Nussbaum on his right, and Veter right on his back in defense. He plays it off for Dominguez Olvera, letting it dribble down towards that far corner. Stepping in the way was Strangis. He's going to dribble over the sideline there, throw in for the Maple Leafs here, as we now are at 31-23 left here in the game.
Yeah, you can look at the midfield. There's 4 Leafs covering the 2 Spring Arbor Cougars who are still committed towards the midfield. The Leafs are definitely trying to make something happen on offense, but their main priority is making sure no fast breaks occur.
Ball thrown into Reed. He's touched a little bit too big, and it's going to be Yunchai in the way. However, his clear, Venderly heads right back into the zone. Veter's going to try to clear it. He finds the foot of Putt, and his pass forward is intercepted. The ball ends up all the way back to the Strangis brothers on the center back line for the Cougars. They immediately push it up towards this near sideline. Now they've got Sterling on with painting his heels white on the near sideline. However, they try to play it corner. Francois Revalier able to get it and play it back forward. Bounces up, finds the head of Strangis there. That's going to fall out of play. Throw in for the Maple Leafs right at midfield.
The fans here not too happy that the high kick out of bounds nearly hitting an assistant coach for Goshen College.
And Coach Miller for the Cougars not too happy as he is trying to get a sub in. However, his team can't earn the throw in. Therefore, they can't get a sub. Nussbaum's going to have a hit. This one's going to dribble. However, Piper's going to keep it in play there. So the sub's still not a chance to come in as we hit the 15-minute mark gone by here in the second half. Goshen still leads Spring Arbor 1-0. Once again, late in the first half, the 45th minute to be exact, Isaac Huerta with the lone goal in the contest. Working with it now is Getzinger. He's going to whip one into the box off his left foot. Ball falls down right to Nofsinger. That is another save. And a few more seconds off the clock for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, it was not a bad attempt on goal there. Against 3 defenders, Spring Arbor managed to actually get a shot on goal, but very weak one. Easy save.
Nussbaum settles it down, gets it over, working with Nofsinger. He gets by 1, however, then is tripped up by Veter. They're going to say no call, play on. Veter gets the ball right back and plays it over to Getzinger. Getzinger moving forward now, gets through 2, and then dribbles towards the middle, lays it off for Yunchai. Yunchai plays it off for Storm, working on the near sideline. He takes a touch towards the middle. He's going to have a rip towards that near post. That's going to be wide. Goal kick, and that means sub for the Cougars. Checking back in, number 8. That's going to be Adam Hunt. And Isaac Huerta gets up to the line as well. We'll see who comes off. It's going to be Brody Nofsinger for the Maple Leafs. And number 10, that's going to be Veter stepping off for the Cougars.
It wasn't a bad rip by Stevenson Storm there, but you saw Dean Nofsinger was in well position, even if it had been online. Again, another easy save for a goalkeeper who's in the right place.
Nofsinger puts the ball back into play now on the goal kick. Looking for Nussbaum. It's over his head. Looking for Huerta. However, Kakovo is there in defense. Selling it down now, Sterling. He's going to drop it all the way back to Christian Strangis. Christian over to his brother, Matt. And Matt's going to dribble forward now. Swings it over to Getzinger across midfield now. He touches middle looking for Putt. Putt plays it right back down the line looking for Getzinger again. This time Dominguez Olvera there in defense. He's going to be able to keep it in play, then goes over the end line. Then I say another corner kick for the Cougars. Their second of the half, 5th of the game.
Good defense by Dominguez Olvera, though. You definitely would rather concede a corner kick than had his man gotten past him. It would have been much better than a corner kick. As far as opportunities to land the ball right into the middle, he would have had an unimpeded journey to the middle box.
Once again, Sterling over the ball there in the corner. Left foot swings one in. It's going to be cleared away. Looks like that was Reed getting in the way of that one. Storm chases it down. He's got Domingos Olvera on his back immediately. Plays one middle. That's going to be cleared away by Ashelman. Wearing the captain's band for the Maple Leafs here this evening. Isak Huerta coming. He's going to take a long rip as Piper was way out of the box. However, nowhere on goal and not nearly quick enough or high enough. Settles down. Piper able to chase it down, keep it in play. 27 left here in the second half. Goshen leads Spring Arbor 1-0. Ball played to the middle now, right at that midfield spot. Huerta, the only Maple Leaf remotely close to midfield / the offensive half now. Playing along the near sideline is Sterling. Nussbaum's going to force this one out of play. Throw in for the Cougars. Checking in now, number 20. It's Mitchell Simon.
Isak Huerta, inspired by the Women's World Cup final with that shot from about 45 yards out. He saw the goalie a little out of position, but his shot well low and wide.
Mitchell Simon checking in for Sterling. And she'll be playing outside back. Ball thrown in, and Nussbaum settles it down. Gets it up to Huerta. He's got Kakovo on his back. Kakovo's going to touch this one out of play. It's going to be thrown for the Maple Leafs. Checking back in, James Garcia for the Maple Leafs. Coming off is going to be Jamie Reed. Francois Revalier with the ball now, looking for some sort of throw up the line. Kakovo is going to get a head on that one, however, heads it right down to Nussbaum. Plays it forward to, looking for Venderly. He gets over to Huerta, takes a touch to the middle, spins around two different players with the same move, however, unable to keep it around the third. Now Francois Revalier and Nussbaum double teaming against Yunchai. And Bontrager's going to clear this one up the line. Ball settled down. Nussbaum with it now. He's got two players in the middle. Tries to get it over to Huerta, however, knocked down. And then possession now with Simon on the near sideline. He touches it middle, looking for Yunchi. Poked away now by Venderly. He's going to have a rip. This one's going to go far of that far post. Goal kick for the Cougars. 25 left.
I got a little excited there. Isak Huerta with some very smooth moves in the middle. And Chris Venderly coming up with a steal and an opportunity on goal. Unfortunately, a shot a little wide, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Leafs when they do have their offensive possessions. They're making them sweat.
This is the Maple Leaf team we wanted to see.
Absolutely.
Huerta, Nussbaum all stepping up in the forward in the attack. However, now the Cougars are the ones on the attack, working on that far sideline. Throw in. It's going to be Simon. Throws it up line, looking for Yunchai. They're going to say that one's going to dribble a little bit long over that end line. They're going to say he kept it in play, however, fell to the ground doing so, therefore Maple Leafs easily clear. Now working on that far sideline. Simon throws one into the box. This one's going to be for Knopfsinger and Knopfsinger only. And another slow of play for the Maple Leafs. So we're now at 24.5 minutes left. Goshen leads 1-0.
That was a bit of a desperation kick into the box there. You can tell Spring Arbor getting a little more desperate, or maybe frustrated is the better word, as Goshen is not allowing them a really good opportunity.
Working with it now on that far sideline. Simon trying to keep it in play with a putt, but unable to do so. Maple Leafs have a throw-in and can waste some more time.
Yeah. Need to waste about 24 more. If they 24 more minutes, that is, if they want to walk out of here with just a 1-0 victory. But as we've seen, plenty of opportunities to even extend that lead coming for the Leafs.
The Cougars try to cross over midfield. It's Kamara. However, Chupp is right on his back, and he is forced to outlet it over to the far sideline to Simon. He tries touching it middle to Yunchai. He turns with it. He's got Domingos Olvera right in front of him. Tries to take a touch towards the middle and play one in. That finds the head of Venderly. Cleared away again. Dropped all the way back to Strangus at the midfield line. He moves forward looking for what he has and drops it off. Now Yunchai with it. He swings one into the box. Storm gets one and throws a foot up into the air, catching Francois Revalier. That looked semi-violent, definitely not on purpose. You could tell he was going for the ball. However, then he shoves Jaden Chupp. Clock has already been stopped. Yellow card is out of the pocket.
Yeah.
He continues to walk away from the center official. Francois Revalier still down on the ground as it seemed to be kicked in the face. Storm trying to get a foot up there and flick the ball. Does receive the yellow card and nothing more. Francois Revalier once again still on the ground. Yellow card has been issued to Stevenson
I
Storm.
believe that's Mangunda.
Or is it Mangunda? It is,
ground, yes.
indeed.
And Stevenson Storm definitely got a leg up late. Mangunda had cleared the ball away well before, about a full second before Storm got his leg up in there. The yellow card would have been merited even without the shove to Jamie Reed, but the crowd here, a couple fans asking for the red card after Storm's behavior. Not quite sure that's merited, but definitely another moment. You can feel the frustration coming from Spring Arbor.
Yellow card issued at 23:07 left here in the second half. Once again, Stevenson Storm for the high kick in the box. Knopf's going to put the ball back into play for the Maple Leafs, and we are underway. Working for it now along the near sideline. Garcia in pursuit. However, the pass up the line picked off by Francois Revalier. He's working against Storm now. They're going to say he's too much hand play there as Storm's trying to get the quick play. However, too many Maple Leafs in the way. He throws one into the box looking for Kamara. Knopfsinger comes up over him for the grab.
And Knopfsinger just reaches right in front of Kamara and steals that ball. I don't know what Kamara would have done that was about to hit him in the face, but Knopfsinger saves him, I suppose, from getting that kick. Definitely a warranted foul by Francois Revalier just a minute ago. A little bit too aggressive on Stevenson Storm.
Ball along midfield now for the Maple Leafs. It's Ashelman with it. He chips it up the line looking for Huerta. He's got Domingos Olvera towards the middle. However, keeps possession along that far sideline. Beautiful footwork. And he's going to chip one forward for Venderly, who lays it right back to him. Gets around one into the box and take it down. They're going to point and say goal kick instead of penalty kick. Ooh. And ball played immediately by Piper over towards the near sideline. Nussbaum tracking back quite quickly, and ball settled back to Stranges. He takes a touch towards the middle.
You might be able to hear it, folks. The crowd here in Goshen definitely wanted a penalty kick there. I can't blame them. It was pretty borderline, to be fair to the official. So he made a judgment call there that wasn't unfair. But Huerta was definitely more than just the ball was gotten on the challenge. We'll say that. Meanwhile, it looks like a corner kick is happening on the other side of the field.
Cougars with the corner kick, their third of the half. As we heard, just checking in there was Saylor coming in for Yunchai. Standing over the ball. This time it's going to be Stevenson Storm to take it. On the right foot, curling it in. Puts this one in low. It's going to be cleared away by, I believe that was Francois Revalier, or Mangunda, excuse me. Right back to Storm. He's going to try to take that line, then tries cutting middle. Nussbaum's able there to poke that one away. Getzinger's going to try to throw it into the box. That's chested down and away by the Maple Leafs as well. Ball pushed forward. Now the Stranges brothers working together. Domingos Olvera trying to apply some pressure from the Maple Leafs. However, unable to earn possession now. Crossing midfield is Stranges with 20 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the contest. Throws one into the box looking for Kakovo. He drops one off for Putt. He can't keep possession. He throws it over, looking this time for Hunt. However, that's cleared away by Chubb. Another one now coming from Stranges. Going to throw another one into the box. Takes a deflection. Gets by two, then cleared away by Bontrager. Settled down now. Venderly, Huerta, and Ashelman come the other way. Hunt tracking back on defense. Tries to flick it forward, looking for Huerta. He's got Stranges right on him. He's got a 4-on-1 in terms of between him and the goal. Also got Venderly and Ashelman. Ashelman's going to take a one-time hit there. It's going to sail over the crossbar for a goal kick. Another sub checking in now for the Cougars. This time it's number 10. That's going to be Kevin Veeder.
I like the attempt there by Ashelman. For no other reason, I like it because there really wasn't anything else he could have done with the ball. Maybe give it back to Isaac Huerta, even in worse position. That one-touch shot, you never know what's going to happen. If you're really feeling yourself, you might get a bullet.
Ball played back in now. It's Veeder with it. Takes a touch forward and plays it off to Storm. Storm's going to try to play it forward and finds the foot of Putt. Ashelman there in defense. Ball travels all the way back to Kakovo, who has now dropped back to a center back position. Kakovo with it at the midfield stripe now. Takes a touch forward. Ball working down to the far corner. Ashelman's going to clear this one out. Storm with it now.
Nice steal by Isaac Huerta.
Huerta's going to get this one. He's going to clear this one long towards the near corner for Nussbaum. Piper's come all the way out. Looks like he's going to try to settle this down and clear it. Brings it over towards the near sideline. That's going to go out of play. Throw and earn for the Maple Leafs. All from that pressure from Nussbaum, as we are now at 18 and a half left here in the second half.
The ball kicked out of bounds with a sign of frustration again from Spring Arbor. They're starting to lose some of their composure. That does not bid well for them as they try to tie this game in the next 18 minutes. Francois Rovalier will take the throw. Well, no, we're going to stop play.
The Sirs has stopped the clock at 18:10 just to talk to Francois Rovalier about making sure that he's timely in his inbounds. Huerta with it now in the corner working against Vider. He keeps possession. Dribbling all the way down towards that corner, and it's going to be finally poked away by Getzinger, but it's going to be another Maple Leaf throw-in. This time comes back to Garcia. He's going to try to throw it in. That's going to be blocked down by Vider. Gets to the foot of Kamar. He plays it forward. They're going to say play on. It seemed to hit the shoulder / upper arm there. Not quite sure of punt, but the Maple Leaf bench not happy about that call nonetheless.
They definitely felt like it was a little bit lower than that.
It's going to be a Cougar ball right along midfield now. Off the throw, and it's Vider with it. He turns and plays one back towards Putt. Putt's going to keep it coming this way. This time looking for Sailor. However, that's going to be poked away now. And Huerta working with it in his own defensive half. Flicks one forward, trying to find Francois Rovalier. However, it's going to be cleared away by Vider. Settled down by Sailor. Ball now over to the far sideline looking for Sterling. Now back to Kakoval. He's going to throw it into the box. This one's going to be up, and Knopfsinger's ball once again. A lot of serves coming into the box, however, none of them far enough away from Knopfsinger that he's not just going to stroll out and scoop up himself.
Yep. Confident goalkeeper is a scary one.
16 and a half, counting down here in the second half. Goshen leads Spring Arbor 1-0 in the second Crossroads League of the season. Nussbaum with it now, moves into the attacking third on his left foot. Tries to cut it back and then put it right back to the left. Strange is there in defense and able to read that play very beautifully. Dumps it off now. Venderly working with it. However, that's going to be picked away. Now Hunt moving forward quite aggressively. Tries to slot one through. Gets through. The shot comes towards the far post and into the side netting. That is a goal for the Cougars. Looks like it was Simon who was able to finally put one away.
That's a hard angle taken on the goal there. Dean Knopfsinger took the much easier shot. That's what you always want to do when you're covering the goal. But if you're going to be that precise with your shots, it's pretty hard going. That was definitely Goshen's defense that got sliced up a little bit on that play.
Once again, now we are deadlocked one apiece here, Goshen and Spring Arbor, on that goal from Mitchell. Or excuse me, I guess Mitchell Simon. Ball comes over towards the near sideline. A little bit too much contact there. It's going to be a free kick for the Maple Leafs right at midfield.
Francois Rovalier prepping to take this free kick. The score tied at one apiece now. We'll see what Goshen does to try to amend their strategy. They've been getting good offensive pressure, but they might want to commit more men on their attacks than they have so far in this first half.
Francois Rovalier's ball into the box, settled down by Huerta, touched over towards Chup, tries to chip one through for Huerta. That's poked away by Kakoval and played forward now. Ash working in defense. Ball played up towards the near corner now. Storm working against Francois Rovalier. Rovalier is going to get there first and slide that one out of play.
And despite being a defender, I would have liked to see Jaden Chup take a shot there. He had it right at the top of the box, tried to pass it into Isaac Huerta, but Huerta too well covered. Chup, I think, had a better opportunity himself.
Ball thrown in. Bontrager is going to put this one up in the air. Kamara there, and eventually settled down to his foot. He's got Francois Rovalier on his back. Dropped it off to Getzinger. He's going to throw another one into the box. This one's going to be wide. Out of play. Goal kick for the Maple Leafs. Correction on the goal for Spring Arbor. The goal coming from number 9. That is Jarrett Putt, the senior forward out of New Zealand.
Knopfsinger will line up his goal kick with the wind at his back. His kicks have been a little bit better in the second half. I'll hopefully want to do that again. This one will reach pretty much right at midfield, contested for and eventually won by Dominguez Olvera. Bringing it from the back line.
Kakavall moving across midfield, plays it out towards Putt. Putt's going to heel it on, looking for an oncoming Storm. However, it's going to be too hard throwing for the Maple Leafs now. Ashelman to take, looks up line for Huerta. His touch a little bit too big, and Spring Arbor once again takes over possession. Ball moved forward to Hunt. Touches around one, and tries to take the end line. However, Manguna's there to clear that one away. Going to be another corner kick for the Cougars.
Looks like Brody Nofziger is on the sideline awaiting to come in at his next opportunity. He's just recognized by the official, so looks like the next time the ball goes out of bounds, he should be entering.
Just under 13 and a half left to play here in regulation. Goshen, Spring Arbor deadlocked, one apiece. This cross comes in towards the penalty spot. Settled down, and a shot put on that. However, it was way over the crossbar. Looks like not quite a chance they were looking for there from Sailor. Checking in now, Brody Nofsinger, as you mentioned, coming out, Dominguez Olvera.
It was a good corner kick for Spring Arbor there. It's always a good corner kick if it finds the foot of one of your teammates. But, yeah, as you said, the shot didn't trouble Nofsinger at all back in goal.
Nofsinger drives the ball back into play. However, headed right back towards him by Putt. And then poked away. Now coming forward for the Maple Leafs now. Huerta with it. However, poked away from him. Bunch of back and forth bouncing here. And Kakavall is able to finally settle it down for the Cougars. Plays it forward, finds Hunt. He's going to chip one forward. It takes a deflection off of Chupp and then cleared away by Francois Revalier. Working with it now. Venderly's going to volley this one forward over that far sideline right across to midfield. Cougar throw in. 12 minutes left here in regulation from the Goshen College Soccer Complex. The sun has completely disappeared. We are all by the lights, the 4 light posts surrounding the field here. Venderly with the ball in the middle. However, his touch a little bit too big, and Veter's going to be able to clear that one away. With it now, Sailor touches it over to Storm, and Storm brings it all the way over to the near sideline for Getzinger. He's got Francois Revalier standing in front of him. Tries to get to that left foot, gets around Francois Revalier, then takes a touch towards the middle, and Venderly finally able to clear this one away. Settle it down now, coming up the near sideline. Touches it towards Huerta. Huerta keeps possession now, back turn to his offensive goal. Tries to turn, gets around Strangis. Now goes towards Kakavall, trying to take one towards the end line. It's going to last be touched by Kakavall, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Maple Leafs.
That is absolutely the best thing that could have happened for Huerta. Surrounded by white jerseys, his one man in the middle, Nate Nussbaum, surrounded by white jerseys. This corner kick is the best the Leafs were going to get there, so excellent job by Huerta making it happen.
Venderly jogging over to the near corner on the right side. He's got 11 minutes on the clock, and his Maple Leaf squad deadlocked one apiece with Spring Arbor. Garcia checking to the near corner. And Venderly's going to drive one towards the top of the box, looking for Nussbaum. He's going to one-touch it on goal. However, there for the save is Putt. What a drive from Nussbaum, and what a save. Piper able to react as that one was driven very hard and very low. Ball gets deflected now towards the right back to the corner that we just came from. However, this time the Cougars have possession. It's Kakavo to clear this one forward. He's looking for Storm, however, it's over his head, out of play. Another Maple Leaf throw-in.
And Elise had tried that setup before. The first time the corner kick was a little bit too soft and intercepted, but you see why the Leafs wanted to do it. They've got a rocket in the leg of Nate Nussbaum, and he put one right on frame.
Ball pass from Francois Revalier goes a little bit too hard back to Piper, and he immediately outlets it for Strangis. Gets it up to Veter. Veter across midfield on that far sideline. Heels it back to Putt. Putt plays it middle, looking for Kakavo. Moving forward. Now he's got Ashelman in his way. He chips one forward. Not hard enough. Headed away by, that is Francois Revalier. Ball comes over to Getzinger on the near side. He's got Nussbaum in his path. Does a little give and go to get to the corner. However, Revalier with the slide tackle. Ball's going to dribble over the end line. Corner kick for the Cougars. Their 5th of the half, 8th of the game.
It was a technically good slide tackle, but in the end, the corner kick was a bit of a gift for Spring Arbor. The situation was mostly in Goshen's favor. They had the man on lock there in the corner, but now they're going to give up a corner kick.
Single-digit minutes left as we are now at the 9-minute mark. Goshen tied with Spring Arbor 1-1. The Cougars with a corner kick here now in the left half of the field to take it. Ball served towards that back post. Bunch of heads go up for it, however, it ends up flying all the way through. They're going to say too much physical contact in the box. Free kick for the Maple Leafs.
Well, we have seen the offense pick up a little bit since the draw happened. Obviously,
both ways.
Yeah, committing more players is gonna mean more offense for both teams. A shot on goal on Goshen's last possession. Let's see if they can follow it up with another good possession.
The side official now coming forward now with it is Hunt. 25 yards out, tries to cut back on Benderly, unable to do so. Gets it forward to Knopfsinger. He tries to get around. That is Simon, however, unable to do so. Ball ends up all the way back with Piper. Piper brings it this way towards Christian Strangis. He touches middle for Veter, who plays it back over to Kakavo. Kakavo moving forward now. 25 yards out before he finally turns. Just keeps position along that far sideline now. Just passing the time, waiting for something to open up. Plays a little give and go now. That's what he was looking for. Ball served into the box. However, finds the foot of Ashelman. He plays it forward for Huerta. He's got a player on his back and not able to keep possession now. Ball bounces back to Strangis. Gets it over to, that's Sailor. He tries going up the line. That's going to be poked away by Revalier. Getzinger to take the throw in now. He looks towards the middle. It's over the head of Bontrager. Actually hits his head and goes over that end line.
Or does it?
It does. The far official is saying it did. That means 6th corner kick of the half for the Cougars.
Yeah, Bontrager's header, unfortunately, was just a little too under it as it bounced on his head for a free corner kick.
7 minutes remaining here as Storm looks to take the 6th corner kick, of the half for his Spring Arbor Cougars. Storm, the senior defender out of Michigan. Ball served into the box, going up for it. Knopfsinger's going to have it. It's going to be knocked out of his hands or maybe dropped. I don't know. However, then Knopfsinger able to clear it away. Working against now the other Knopfsinger, Brody Knopfsinger. He plays it up line looking for Huerta. That's poked away by Getzinger. He gets around one, then lays it off for Storm. Storm splits two, placed it into the box for Putt. However, poked away from him. Still able to work back and get it. Drops it off for Getzinger. He's going to take the end line and whip one in with his stronger left foot. No one there. Drops. Kamara tries to get a touch on it. Still rolls out of the box on that far side now. Tries to throw one back in the box again. This time Storm tries to get a volley on it. It's deflected away. Come the other way now. Huerta, he's got one-on-one, and then the keeper, Ashelman, on his left side. And then a player from behind drops it off for Ashelman. He's going to take a touch. Get around. Try to get around one. Take a hit. That is right at Piper. He's going to make the save. Second shot on goal for the Maple Leafs here in the second half. And unable to capitalize on it now. 5:50.
That's about as good of a counterattack as you could hope for the Maple Leaf offense. Unfortunately, Ashelman had to try to manufacture something from his left foot. Not exactly what they would have wanted, but it was still a good shot on goal. As we're going to have a goal kick after that ball is cleared all the way past the end line. Jesus Dominguez Olvera will check in. Isaac Huerta is going to take a break. We'll see if Huerta comes in at any point in the game. One of Goshen's main offensive weapons leaving the field. He's receiving a round of applause as the PA announcer tells the crowd that he is leaving.
5 minutes left here and counting down in regulation. Spring Arbor with the ball at midfield. Plays it up line. And now slotted through for Sailor. He's got Francois Revalier. He drives one in low. That's going to be near post. Knopfsinger's going to come up and scoop it up.
You know, on the sideline, Isaac Huerta just now going to the bench. Okay, he was standing right around the end line, almost as if Aaron Patrick just wanted to tell him something and then send him right back in.
Knopfsinger's kick. Trying to find Menderly, however, ends up dropping to the foot of the Cougars. This time it's Getzinger on the near sideline. He plays it middle, looking for Veter. Veter goes forward. However, that's going to be poked away by the Maple Leafs. Teamwork there from Garcia and Ashelman. working against Hunt. Gets it over to Venderly moving forward now. He's going to slot one corner for Knopfsinger getting into the box. Slots one towards the middle. However, Piper is going to come up and scoop that up. 4 minutes to go now and counting down. Piper with the ball in his hands. Throws it out over towards the near sideline for Strangis. He goes back middle for Veeder. Veeder's moving forward and plays one towards that far corner looking for a run from Kamara. He's got Mangunda on his back. He turns with it, tries to take the end line, gets around one. However, they're going to say he was tripped up from behind by Mangunda. Stoppage of play. Looks like Mangunda's going to earn himself a possible yellow card, maybe just telling him no more, not quite sure. And there is the yellow card indeed. Yellow card at the 3:31 mark remaining here for Calvin Mangunda in only his second contest of action here this season for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, certainly a challenge from behind. Probably wouldn't have merited a yellow at an earlier point in the game, but so late in the game, stopping an attack like that relatively close to the box, you almost have to give yellow cards to situations like that as Jamie Reed is preparing to re-enter the game for the Leafs.
Storm standing over that ball now, just outside the penalty box on that far sideline. Two-man wall guarding that near post for keeper Dean Knopfsinger. 7 players in the box for the Cougars. Ball chipped in towards the 6, flicked on. Looks like it's going to be a foot race between Revalier and Storm. Revalier's going to get there and just clear it up the line. Getzinger throws it right back in, looking for Saylor. He's going to throw it into the box, very hardly driven. Kamara's going to put a shot on, however, Mangunda goes to the ground to get a block on that one. That is commitment to the team. Ball played forward now for Dominguez Olvera. He's got a 5-on-3 and able to keep possession long enough for his teammates to come up from behind. Benderly tries to find Garcia in the middle. That's picked off from Storm, tracking back. He plays it towards that far sideline, finding the foot of Putt. Putt's got Knopfsinger waiting for him when he turns. It's going to be poked out of bounds. Cougar throw-in now with 2:45 left here in regulation. Ball thrown to the middle and dropped back once again. Christian Strangis on the near sideline now, moving forward across midfield with the ball. Still no pressure as he moves forward. Finally chips one through for Kamara. That's going to be cleared away by Nussbaum. Ball at the midfield, looking for it is Dominguez Olvera against Kakovo. However, Kakovo, the bigger and stronger player there, he's going to win possession moving forward. Gets it over to Saylor. He comes in, drops one off for Kamara in the box. Tries to let it through, however, unable to retrieve it. Cleared away. Francois Revalier now at midfield, near sideline. Dominguez Olvera. He's got Strangis in his way. Trying to keep possession. Ball cleared away, but right to the foot of Francois Revalier. He touched the middle for Ashelman, who tries to flick it back up the line for Revalier. Out of play, though. With under 2 minutes to go now, Getzinger to throw the ball back into play. Goes for the long throw, looking for Kamara. However, he ends up on the ground, wanting a call, does not get it. Ashelman with possession placed over for Brody Knopfsinger. Knopfsinger surveys his options and tries to take that far sideline. He's going to be bumped out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for the Maple Leafs.
Oh, my goodness.
And Knopfsinger ends up on the ground. Some pushing and shoving there coming from Hunt as well.
Things are getting pretty chippy.
Very chippy indeed. Only a minute 25 left here in the second half.
Spring Arbor still upset that David Bontrager didn't get called for pulling down Kamara a minute ago. And now some extracurriculars happening on the far sideline.
The ball is back into play now with the Cougars. It's Veeder. Drops it off for Piper. Piper takes a bad touch.
Goodness.
Trying to get there is Dominguez Olvera, however, unable to do so. Just kind of cleared away. Strangis with it now. Comes over to the near sideline for Getzinger. Touch it forward for Saylor. Poked away from him. However, he's able to keep possession on the deflection, moving towards the middle. Tries to chip one forward. However, Chupp gets ahead on that one. Garcia settles and clears. Ball falls now to the foot of Vidor again. Plays it over to the near sideline for Getzinger. He touches forward. However, that's going to be cleared away on a slide from Bontrager. So it's going to be a throw-in, I believe. I can't quite see. Plenty full student section in the way now. going to be Getzinger. Nevertheless, he does have the long throw in, so still an offensive threat as we're at 30 seconds left here in the second half. Still tied 1-1. Throw into the box. Going up for it and cleared by Garcia's head. Right back to Getzinger. He's going to settle it and take the end line. Blocked down by Revalier. This time it's over the end line. Another corner kick. 7th of the half. They've only got 14 seconds to get this one off. Storm heads over there. Everyone in the box besides Piper for the Cougars. Storm take this one over at 6 seconds high, lofted towards the far post. Multiple heads on it, however, not on goal.
It's a goal kick.
It's going to goal kick,
So
and
that
that
should be
is
the end
regulation time. 1-1. We are deadlocked here between Goshen College and Spring Arbor. We've seen a full 90 minutes, and we're going to get 30 minutes more, 2 15-minute halves with a 2-minute break in between. For those of you tuning in for the volleyball contest to start, roughly coverage starting at 8 p.m., first serve set for 8:10. We will keep it here until the conclusion of this game, then throw it in to the Gundam Gymnasium for that. We've got a little bit of a break here before we return to some more action of overtime action. So we're going to take a quick break here as well on 91.1 The Globe. Don't forget to keep it locked, and when we come back, we'll have more soccer action for you. 91.1 The Globe, Goshen College Sports Authority.
Hey, there's my son.
Hey, Dad.
What's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Well, it's just sort of.
Hello, Dad.
Susan? Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and maybe see some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Tune in Sunday evenings from 4 to 6 for Acoustic Cafe here on 91.1 The Globe. Join your host Rob Reinhardt for a mix of music from classic singer-songwriters and new up-and-coming talents. It's an eclectic selection of different genres from the last 6 decades. For avid Globe fans, Acoustic Cafe is a show you don't want to miss out on. A relaxing show to wind down on a lazy Sunday afternoon from 4 to 6, only here on your home for culturally progressive music, 91.1 The Globe.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, he's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
574 Sports on 91.1 The Globe serves up a fresh dose of local and campus athletics every Saturday at 11 in the morning. Join myself, Dalton Scheller.
And me, Brad Stoltz, who says we sit down with coaches to give you an inside ear to athletics.
Hey, join me too, Spencer Buttermore, as I talk with athletes to let you hear their thoughts.
Features, interviews, and more is here on 574 Sports every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on 91.1 The Globe.
Welcome back to the Goshen College Soccer Complex. We're 90 minutes into a Crossroads League contest between Goshen College and Spring Arbor. My name is Andrew Snyder alongside J.D. Hirschberger, and we're deadlocked at 1 apiece. Goshen's goal coming right at the end of the first half could not have come any later, really. With only 13 seconds left on the clock in the first half, Isaac Huerta scoring on the assist from Jamie Reed. However, then at the 73-48 mark in the second half, in the game, that was Jared Putt finishing off a beautiful run for the Cougar goal, assist from Adam Hunt. So now, as we move towards these overtime periods, same thing happened last year between these two teams. It was just up in Michigan. Goshen scored first. Spring Arbor answered. Game went to overtime. That game ended in a tie. We'll see what happens here this evening.
Yeah, if we don't see any goals in 2 short periods of overtime, we will end in a tie. As soccer is known to do, but we'll see if the Leafs have it in them. You might see if that substitution out for Isaac Huerta was Aaron Patrick thinking about this overtime period, wanting to save his legs. Huerta's put in a lot of work in the second half, coming off of the bench, and has been our main offensive force. Obviously scoring the goal, but putting a lot of offensive pressure up as well.
Once again, for those of you tuning in for the volleyball contest taking place in Gundam Gymnasium. First serve set for round 8-10. to be covered here on 91.1 The Globe. We will have that call for you. Spencer Buttermore and Laura Hoover will have that. But first, we will finish up the contest here from the soccer complex outside of the Roman Gingrich Recreational Fitness Center. So just hold tight. Your volleyball is coming. And while you wait, please enjoy the rest of this soccer broadcast. Once again, Goshen, Spring Arbor deadlocked 1 apiece as we are now under a minute before the start off of the second half. Captains are meeting at midfield for the coin flip. It's Spencer Ashelman for the Maple Leafs and Getzinger for the Cougars. Looks like, couldn't really tell what happened from there. They just kind of flip happened. They're like, yep, okay, cool, and went back to their respective sides. So I guess we'll have to wait and see once they line up what actually happened in that coin flip. High energy in the student section here.
Absolutely. And I do see Huerta back on the field getting a personal pep talk from Aaron Patrick alongside Jesus Dominguez Olvera. Looks like Nate Nussbaum has taken a rest from playing the majority of that second half. The lineup looks mostly the same for Spring Arbor as well. Goshen will continue to defend from left to right, or they are traveling from left to right, and right to left is Spring Arbor. That would be advantageous still if it were as windy as it had been before. The wind has calmed down a little bit. It's gotten a little bit chilly, though.
We've got 2 10-minute overtime periods taking place here. And as is the custom in NAIA, I believe, if we have a goal, that'll do it. And so guaranteed, we are not guaranteed anything more than 5 seconds, I believe, would be the fastest you could score. But could be as much as 20 minutes or 110 minutes total this evening. Spring Arbor to kick off and back underway. We are. Worth it now is Veeder. Moves across midfield, touches it forward. However, Bontrager's going to intercept that one, get it off to Venderly. He plays forward along the near side for Huerta, who's going to take a touch and then try to slow it back down. Gets around Vidor. He's going to take a outside of the right foot shot that ends up going on goal. However, not enough pace, and that's going to be easy enough for Piper to pick up.
Putting some pressure on the back line here of Piper is Dominguez Olvera. Goshen not looking like the team that played that first 90 minutes that let the defenders come all the way to 32 yards away from their own goal.
Ball played forward now, trying to get the Storm through, however, cleared away now by the Maple Leafs across midfield and then over that far sideline for another Cougar throw-in. Throw-in, not far enough back the line there. So we're going to redo that throw-in. I believe that is Storm over there. He's going to throw it right back up that line. This time finds that is Storm now poked away by Mangunda. And Simon now back up to take the throw. This time it comes middle towards Vidor. And Vidor's going to drop it off for Kakavo. Gagabo back to Simon. He plays it forward looking for Kamara. He tries to turn on Chupp. However, Chupp's too strong, able to stay in the way of that one, let it roll over that end line. Goal kick for the Maple Leafs. Now at the 8:15 mark left here in the first overtime. Goshen Spring Arbor deadlocked 1 apiece on goals from Isak Huerta and Jared Butt. Now Singer drives the one back into play right across midfield. Flicked on by Jamie Reed, however, then cleared away by Simon. Mangunda throws it right back in there, this time over the head of Olvera. And Strangis is going to clear it away. However, this time Huerta working with it. Working against Vidor, and then finally picked up this time by Hunt. It's thrown into the box. Knopfsinger comes out to get it. Pokes it wide out of the box, and then flicked forward by Ashelman.
That was a much more desperate attempt offensively for Spring Arbor than we've been seeing so far. There might be some tired legs there, but that was just a long clearance up. That was not easy for Knopfsinger, but well, here's an offensive opportunity for the
Dominguez
Leafs.
Olvera flicks it over. Putt trying to run it into the goal. Putt's going to track back, and they're going to say a foul called on Dominguez Olvera there as he kind of pushed Strangis in the back. Dominguez Olvera laying down in the goal. Seems to have taken a hit to the head there from Piper trying to track back and get the ball. 7 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. Dominguez Olvera slowly gets up.
Well, just as I was criticizing Spring Arbor for trying to run offensively by just kicking it up, Goshen does something very similar and actually finds a solid opportunity. Olvera is up and walking away on his own power. He'll stay in the game. It looks like, at least. But that was certainly something for the Leafs.
Ball played back in. Clock restarted now. 7:10, counting down. Strangers with it. Dominguez Olvera there in defense.
Wow.
He does not give up.
Yeah,
Gets right
Dominguez
back up
Olvera.
and back on that defensive pressure. Ball across midfield now. Francois Revalier in defense now as Saylor looks for something. Then Huerta comes over to help. Revalier gets it, plays it right back up the line to Huerta across midfield, right at the near sideline now. He's got Saylor tracking back, taking it down towards that corner. Keeps with it, then pushed down by Saylor. That's going to be a free kick. About the edge of the 18, extended out towards the near sideline, halfway towards the sideline for the Maple Leafs now as we hit the 6:30 mark here in the first overtime.
All right, once again, Huerta just earning a free kick, which is pretty much the best Goshen could have hoped for. Saylor obviously a little bit frustrated, just pushing Huerta to the ground, having a little bit of trouble tracking Huerta so far tonight.
Ball thrown into the box, going up for it is Chubb. He gets it, puts it towards goal. However, it's high enough that Piper is able to come up and grab it. He outlets immediately towards that far sideline for Hunt. 4 Cougars streaking forward. Plays it up the line looking for Storm. Revalier there in defense as well as Venderly working over there as well. Venderly's going to eventually get the steal and play it up that line.
That was excellent hustle by the defenders, coming all the way back from being a part of that free kick to needing to be back to their own defensive box after playing 90 minutes of soccer. That is very hard to still show that kind of hustle that we saw from the back line.
Ball slid forward looking for a through ball. However, Chupp is going to get there first.
Keeps it in bounds too.
That was putt, keeping it in bounds. However, it took himself way out of bounds. Therefore, Maple Leafs easily able to collect and keep possession. Ball played up the far sideline for Ashelman. It's a little bit too hard, and Kakavo is going to get there. Looks to turn. However, Ashelman there in defense immediately. Finally gets around him towards that far sideline there and plays it up. Finds the foot of Simon. Simon plays it forward for Storm. However, Chupp there in defense. Chupp and Reed work together to get that ball out of the defensive zone. And then Benderly working with it in the middle as well. Benderly and Reed back and forth, then picked off. Chupp's going to intercept that through ball. Otherwise, Kamara would have been in. Kamara in this time, however, they're going to say he was offsides. It's going to be a free kick for the Maple Leafs now as we are under 5 minutes left in the first overtime.
Yeah, lucky there. There seemed to be a little miscommunication between the defender, Francois Revalier, and goalkeeper, Dean Nofziger. They're both going after the ball, and it may very well have been Kamara winning it. Would have been an easy game-ending goal had offsides not been the call. But it was offsides.
Nofziger to put this one back into play. No one there for the Maple Leafs except for Vidor for the Cougars. He gets it over to Hunt, coming from right to left on the offensive attack. He takes the big touch, gets around Chupp, jumps over, don't see there to be any contact actually there, but his momentum was just too much, so when he jumped up, he went to the ground.
Yeah, Aaron Patrick is upset about that call. That the slide tackle is not why the offensive player went to the ground there. He just kind of catapulted himself forward, trying to stay with the ball in a situation where he just wasn't with it.
3 players in the wall for the Maple Leafs now. This 30 to 35 yards away from goal. 3 over the ball. It's Storm, Kakavo, and Hunt. Kakavo steps away, as does Storm. That means Hunt to take this one. That 3-man wall guarding that far post from us, near post for Nofziger. Hunt takes this one and drives it in. It's going to be just wide of this near upper 90 for us. What a strike.
That was
lucky for the Maple Leafs. It was not on frame as we are now. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left, and checking in is number 9. That is Jared Putt. Checking out number 12. That would be Janum Saylor.
Nofziger lining up for another goal kick. As we've just got 3 minutes left in the first half of overtime. Plenty of tired legs on the field. This kick is intercepted, but eventually taken by Venderly.
Then flicked forward, looking for Huerta, however, finds Kakavo. A little back and forth play from Vidor and Putt. Vidor with it now. And now gets Simon involved in the play. He's going to get around 1-2 into the middle. Then Chupp's going to throw this one out of there. Off the foot. However, Kakavo and instantly settles down. However, Domingos Olvera is going to track back and then play it for Huerta. He's got one to his right as he enters the box and then gets tripped up on the ball, able to track back to it, keeps with it, and takes a rip towards that near post. And diving for the save was Putt.
Really good save by Piper there. Coming up with what ended up being a relatively strong kick by Isaac Huerta under the circumstances. Guarded by two men, lost the ball temporarily, but Huerta got a strike right on that post. I can't guarantee that would have been on frame. We didn't have a great angle of it, but it was saved nonetheless.
2 minutes and counting down here in the first overtime. Goshen, Spring Arbor still deadlocked, one apiece. Spring Arbor on the offensive attack here. And Bontrager is just going to clear that over that far sideline. Tracking it down now is Simon. Simon goes middle looking for Kamara. He turns, drops it right back to Simon. He's going to swing one off his left foot into the box looking for Hunt. However, he tried flicking it far post. No one was there except for Dean Knopfsinger for the Maple Leafs. He punts this one immediately coming towards the near corner looking for Huerta. Stranges is going to get a touch on it, but it's going to roll out of play. Maple Leaf throw in right at the line between the middle third and offensive third of the field for the Maple Leafs.
Lucky that Jared Putt found himself a little out of position, or that could have been a shot on goal.
And ball flicked forward now for Huerta. He's going to try to throw it into the box. It's going to take the wrong spin and go over the crossbar. A goal kick for the Cougars now as we head towards 1 minute here in the first overtime. Piper ushering his players forward and now drives this one towards midfield. Ashelman gets ahead on it for the Maple Leafs, trying to find Domingos Olvera. Ball ends up towards the middle for Venderly, who plays it off to Knopfsinger. He plays up line for Huerta. Huerta trying to get there, however. Stranges is going to get there. And Huerta ends up taking a tumble, however. It looked to be just a little bit too momentum. Maybe got his foot caught up in the dirt. No hard play there.
I don't know. I saw some hands extend. It wasn't too hard of a play, but it definitely upset the crowd here.
Revalier to throw this one in. There's now 15 seconds left here in the first overtime. He throws this one in looking for Knopfsinger. He flicks it forward, looking for Domingos Olvera. It settles down. Ashelman gets it, drops it off for Huerta now with 7 seconds left. Gets by one, gets by two, has a rip. And that ends up right at Piper, excuse me. That's going to be the end of the first overtime here. Still deadlocked at 1 apiece. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the second half of overtime here on 91.1 The Globe. Your home for Goshen College Athletics.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Indiana learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Have you been searching for a church family that will accept you for who you are and not force you into a theological box? At Goshen City Church of the Brethren, we value diversity and believe each individual experience with God and an understanding of that relationship is both valid and genuine. We are an open and affirming congregation committed to a peace witness and an active engagement in both the local and global communities. In our church life, we can offer you an opportunity to share your gifts as a contribution to our worship experience, or simply connect with us to be welcomed and included in a community of friendliness and caring. We are located on the corner of 5th and Clinton Streets with worship services beginning at 9:30 each Sunday. Goshen City Church of the Brethren, we look forward to having you join us.
Welcome back to the Goshen College Soccer Complex. For those of you tuned in for the volleyball contest, we do have that coming for you. However, the men's soccer game has gone to overtime, and so we're going to stay here for the conclusion of this match between Goshen and Spring Arbor. Still tied at 1 apiece, and we are through the first overtime. We have 10 minutes of action left in the second overtime, unless we have a goal within that 10 minutes. Goshen's first goal coming in the 45th minute of the contest. Isaac Huerta with the goal, Jamie Reed with the assist. Spring Arbor then attacking, scoring in the second half. 73rd minute, 48th second of the game. That was Adam Jared Putt assist Adam Hunt. Those of you tuning in for volleyball, we do have a score update. It is 5-1 right now. Goshen does lead Huntington. At the conclusion of this soccer game, we will throw it immediately there for Spencer Buttermore and Laura Hoover to have the call of that for you. We'll keep you updated as much as we know. 10 minutes are on the clock here for the second overtime. And the Maple Leafs are back on the field. The Cougars just finishing up their chat as they get ready for their second half as well. Now, Goshen will be traveling right to left on your radio dial or computer screen. Spring Arbor coming left to right. We've played 100 minutes of soccer this evening, and we're still deadlocked, one apiece.
Yes, that takes quite a toll on anyone. 90 minutes of soccer is hard enough to do, and some of these players have been out there the entire time. Just off the top of my head, Calvin Mandunga has played the entire contest, 100 straight minutes of soccer, not including halftime, of course.
And Jaden Chubb, too, and David Bontrager, Francois Revalier. The back line for the Maple Leafs, all four of them holding strong. That is impressive. Goshen has shifted to a 4-4-2, we see here, formation for the second overtime. Spring Arbor still playing what seems to be a 4-3-3 or maybe 4-1-4-1. We'll see. Ball back in play for the Maple Leafs now. It immediately taken possession by Storm in the middle. He gets it off for Veeder. Veeder drops it off for Strangis, who plays it right back to Veeder. Reed there in defense now as he crosses midfield, moving towards that far sideline. He flicks it forward, looking, and finds the foot of Sterling. However, pass forward is going to be out of bounds, trying to find Getzinger, but it is a little bit too hard. Ball thrown back into play now, looking for Dominguez Olvera, however, picked off by Getzinger, and then dropped back. Maple Leafs going to still battling for it. Huerta played forward off the knee of Knopfsinger and out of place. Cougar throw in. And Francois Revalier is going to take that throw in and kick it right back out for another Cougar throw in. As we move deeper and deeper into this Cougar offensive attack. Ball thrown in, looking, trying to take that end line now. The Cougars. Bontrager there in defense. Then flicked forward by Knopfsinger, all the way back to the defensive line. This one's thrown now into the box, looking for Kamara. However, Mangunda's going to get ahead on that one, and as does Ashwin to get it out of the box. Settles to the foot of Simon. He touches middle, and then pass a through ball slotted a little bit too hard. It's going to be another goal kick for the Maple Leafs here.
It was a tense moment. There was that initial header by Mandunga going mostly straight up, but Ashelman was able to win it out of the air, get it mostly out of trouble. Dean Knopfsinger will take another goal kick here. I haven't been keeping track of those, but there have been quite a few.
This one's driven forward, gets around half field before Venderly goes up for it, comes towards the near sideline. Not sure who it last touched. They're going to say going to be a Cougar throw in. Hunt to take this one, goes immediately up the line for Storm. Chup there in defense. He goes towards that corner, then tries to take that end line. Chup still gets in his way. Then he finally gets around Chup, gets around Mangunda. However, then Ashelman in his way, and eventually poked away Chup with the final clear. Comes to the foot of Huerta coming across midfield now. Gets around one, gets around two, gets around Kakabo, then finally poked away, but this time right to the foot of Knopfsinger now. Outside that edge 18 on the far sideline. Poked away from him by Getzinger, and he takes it over that far sideline. Going to be a Maple Leaf throw-in now, as we now have 7.5 left here in the contest for sure.
That's why we've been taking out Isak Huerta in and out of the game, so that he still has the energy to sprint past defenders with the ball at his feet. That's so hard to do. I'm sure the tired legs of the defenders contributing to that.
Ball thrown back in now by Mangunda. Revalier. Ball flucked to the middle for Huerta, then finally cleared away by Hunt. Chasing it down now, Bontrager. He tries to clear it off the line. However, Mangunda gets in the way, but then takes a deflection off Mangunda and out of play. Working now, Getzinger on the far sideline. Comes up the line looking, I believe that was for Hunt. However, then flipped back towards the middle, battling for it, and followingly falls to the foot of Veeder. He's going to take a rip from 40 yards out, and that's going to be wide of that far post. Another goal kick for the Maple Leafs. Now 6.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, no trouble for Dean Knopfsinger there. It was a deep shot because Goshen wasn't allowing them anywhere closer than that. That's about as good as you were going to get in that situation. I know they don't really want to tie, but if you can just not concede a goal, that might be the victory you have to take.
Nofsinger's goal kick barely makes halfway to half field. However, then Bontrager's going to help it forward further. It's going to be a Maple Leaf throw in now. Defensive third thrown forward by Francois Revalier, then touchdown. Nofsinger with it now, right along that midfield line, drops it up for Venderly coming towards the near sideline. He slots it through for Ashelman. He takes a touch and cuts it back, puts one towards that far post, and it was on goal, curving towards that upper 90. But Piper was able to get over there and make the save.
A beautiful shot, just not quite enough pace on it to make Piper miss. He was able to comfortably just leap up to grab it, but the crowd was very impressed by the bend on that ball.
From our angle, it looked like, oh, that would have been a beautiful one. All the way down at the other end now are the Cougars working with it. They're going to throw it into the box. However, this is going to end up into the side netting, the outside netting of that goal, as we are now with 5 minutes remaining, and the Maple Leafs have a goal kick. Nofsinger's going to put this one back into play. Over towards that far sideline right at midfield is Nofsinger trying to keep it in play. Gets over his head, gets around one, then tries to cut back towards the middle, then falls to the foot of Reed. He goes back at the line for Domingos Olvera. He tries to get a touch towards the middle, however, unable to do so, and Strangis is able to poke that one away. Ball played all the way back to Piper on the back line. Piper plays it over to Strangis. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left. Strangis looks forward, however, Reed there in defense. Nofsinger as well. Maple Leafs with possession now. Then picked off by Kakavall. And then Venderly there in defense. He plays it over towards the near sideline for Ashelman. He takes a touch forward down the near sideline. Angles in towards the box. Then cuts back. Now he's in. He slots one across the mid. Huerta with it. He's going to put one on goal. It's a goal! The Maple Leafs have won! Isak Huerta with the second goal of the contest. And this time it clinches the game for the Maple Leafs. Ball bouncing around to the box. A beautiful run from Ashelman to slot one into the middle. Domingos Olvera settles it down, and then Huerta puts a finish right into the back of the net with 3 minutes, 54 seconds left in regulation. Goshen comes up on top of Spring Arbor by a score of 2-1. Isak Huerta with goals in the 45th, and now that would make this the 107th minute of the contest. Maple Leafs win their the second conference game now with a record of 1-1-0. 3 points. Spring Arbor drops to 1-1-0 as well.
And the fans are charging the field. They're so excited after a 1-8 start to the season. What a great way to end.
And that about does it. We would talk more about this game, but there is volleyball waiting for you guys. Thank you for tuning in for this men's soccer broadcast. Once again, Goshen College comes out on top of Spring Arbor by a score of 2-0.